9 cycles have passed. When the gods deem mortals too powerful, they decree a race between their avatar and the mortals to determine their worth. In the race, the mortals are granted a chance to engage the very gods themselves. The mortals are granted a chance of survival. The mortals are granted a chance to become gods. Lose and see all mortal life removed from the Kryn, and the next cycle begins. This race is the final command of the gods to their mortal counterparts. This is their dying order.
Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. It's me, Brad Woto, featuring everyone on Twitch. Welcome to the beginning of this stream. It's episode of Dying Order. I thought I knew it, but actually I wrote down the wrong number. No, I didn't. I wrote part 2. And that's even funnier because I think this is really part 3 of this this kind of sub dungeon thing. Kind of. I guess it's a dungeon technically. So yeah, we'll call it part 3 of the Ellie's Death Door dungeon. There you go. That's a good name. Ellie's Death Door dungeon sounds like something you'd find on a different website. How's everyone doing? You doing okay? It's been a great couple of weeks, couple months, and a great year. I'm doing this thing on my channel at the moment where I'm playing horror games, and I called it Horror Month because I was planning on playing horror games for a month, but then I realized that horror games are really short, and I only had enough horror games to last maybe a week, so I'm now calling it Horror Month Week, and then I realized that it's 2020, so it's Horror Year Month Week. On my channel, you can subscribe to that if you'd like, but I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't recommend. Actually, no, you can subscribe to it for tomorrow because me and KPP are playing a horror game together, and I don't actually know anything about it. Man of Medan.
Oh yes, I'd watch that.
I've never found anything out about it. I don't know anything. All I know is that when I put it into a list of things to play, and because I get my chat to vote on what games I'm going to play, I put the list up. And KPP was like, if you play Man of Medan, I mean, I guess it's not a big deal, but I could play it. It's 2-player, and I can play it as well if you want to play it as well together on Monday morning. So that's where we're at tomorrow. Are you speaking? You are speaking. All right. Uh-huh. And what did...
Oh my god, I have to fix my Go Explore stuff. I'm back.
What were you saying?
I was just saying I've only played it once, and I'm excited to see Brad's reactions to things.
All right. I'm saying no one ever does co-streams with me because I'm so annoying. So you're going to probably find out how annoying that is.
I told him challenge it. Really? I've never actually. Well, I've only played like board games with Brad on here for Shill Shows, so I've never actually.
I'm very professional and respectful here, but.
No, I did Atlas with you a little bit, but that was different.
Yeah, that was a little bit different. He lit me on fire, so, you know.
I would never do that.
It sounds like something you might do.
I'm so nice to you all the time. Anyway, yeah, that's happening tomorrow. If you want to watch that, go to twitch.tv/KTPetersPlays.
And for Brad Woto.
For about half an hour before she bails out and plays something else.
Oh, no. Also. But since we're mentioning those things, KPP, do you want to mention the watch together real quick?
So I asked PB, I was like, can we watch the last transmission, do a watch party on my channel? And PB was like, yeah. So we're going to do a watch party Tuesday at 11 a.m.
What's the last transmission?
Time. Oh, the last Wait, it's 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, That's what I was coming in to help with. Yep.
Yeah, nobody wants mountain time. So, but we're going to be watching that. And the last transmission was the first show I've ever GM'd ever here on Table Story. So it's a sci-fi horror, and PB's in it, and a bunch of other amazing RPers, and I'm excited. I haven't watched it since we did it, and I thought it might be kind of fun to see.
I haven't watched it either, so it'll be neat. And I think a lot of the cast is going to be there.
Yeah, something like
to hang
Myrkul
out in
said,
the
you
chat,
said
yeah.
you're going to come, Dan's going to try, and Millie's might try to stop by too, so I'm excited. And I'm excited that you guys are letting me watch it.
And it's
stuff,
when?
so-
Which day?
Tuesday,
Tuesday,
at
1
p.m. Yeah.
Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Yes.
EDT.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. I know how to do only 2 time zones in the world, and that's UK time and EDT or EST or Eastern time, and that's it. And I can't work out any others. There are too many now, and we need just one. I think we should just pick one time zone. I don't care which one it is, and that's the one for everyone in the whole world, no matter what it looks like. If it's night outside and it says you look at your watch and it says it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon, that's what it is. Because I'm getting sick of trying to do math every time I tell someone the time. Because I'm friends with people online and the whole world revolves around me. How you doing, Disby?
I'm doing good. How you doing today?
How's married life?
It's good, thank you.
Yeah?
It's been great.
And congratulations on the children that you've had.
What?
Oh,
In-
that's
I'm
going to
not
start.
aware.
Red Dead Redemption RP.
Oh, right. Yes.
I've been watching it. It's been really funny.
Yeah, it's so fucking hilarious.
You play a mother in it, right?
I do. Yes, a mother of 3, but I've got 2 of them around at the moment.
Yeah.
So yep, that's a handful.
Yeah. I'm just gonna start rumors. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing from now on.
Dear God, no.
Yeah. And how about you, Pocket? How's the pregnancy?
It's great. I'm about 40 weeks along, as you can tell. About 40 weeks. So
Yeah.
food.
All right.
I'm starting going back to the gym.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the gym I go to, they got like, you have to go give them your card. They zap you in or whatever. But then they have like screens up now. Everyone's got like gloves and masks, and of course I go in with a mask. And then it's cool because they have every other one has a thing on it that says practice safe social distancing, and so every other machine is closed down and you can't get on. You can't like be next to other people. And they have like their workers going around just like cleaning shit the whole time. Instead of like trainers training people, they're going around cleaning. And so it was an interesting thing to see. And I'm kind of happy for it because it makes me feel a little more secure. But I need to get back to the gym for my own brain.
Do they move the running machines apart, or do they just block like one off from each other? Or anything
Yeah,
like
they
that?
just blocked one off. They didn't really move them apart. They blocked one off, and then they obviously like unplugged them so they won't turn on even if someone jumps on it. So yeah.
I want
It's
someone to
been-
come and convert my garage into a gym for me.
It's
all
always
I want.
interesting when you're done using a machine and then someone runs up and starts wiping it down.
Just immediately.
And you're like, I didn't sweat that bad.
Yeah, you feel really weird, like, or maybe you didn't sweat enough, and you're like, oh, now I feel guilty.
Yeah,
You know what I
should have
mean?
sweat harder.
If there's no
They've been
sweat on
watching
it,
me. They were
what was
waiting.
the point? You know.
Well,
what
like
I'm
one
saying?
time I was working out and they were like waiting. I felt like they were waiting for me to get up so they could wipe it down. And I'm like, should I work out faster? Like, I
Yeah,
don't
what
know.
is this?
So,
But I
no,
guess that's
but-
also just their job. So they
Yeah.
just get to sit and wait to wipe
Pretty
up
much.
sweat and a disease. From
Well, it's
your-
nice that they were trying. They're trying to be as safe as possible while still like opening it back up for business. So
Yeah.
that's what I've been up to, and that and selling the house.
Oh yeah, the unimaginable stress of selling a house during this pandemic.
Yeah. Well, preparing it's what's stressful. Once it's like finally everything's going underway and it's on the market, I mean, hopefully it'll just breeze by and I can just be done. Just be gone.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good luck.
Well, thank you.
I would say I'll transport you all to a place of slightly less stress, but that's probably not the case today, as you are going to the land of the dead again. So,
Yeah.
Normally,
I don't mind.
I could be like, hey, let's go to the fairy island. You want to go to the fairy island where all the fairies and everyone's nice to each other and you get magic powers? But unfortunately, you guys are currently in the land of the dead, kind of, sort of.
It's a different kind of a stress. It's typically problems we can solve now. So that feels good.
With magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a reminder of what happened so far, you guys went into the one of the 4 doors that is available to you in your own sort of your own kind of domain that you have now, known as your own boundary. You went into one of them, which was Beau's door. Inside of it was a sort of light essence that was known as Deep Seychelles. Introduced itself to Beau. Beau was kind of the only person who could understand the creature, but you were underwater and you kind of entered into a combat with it, and for all intents and purposes kind of lost and were ejected from there. And then you noticed that one of the other doors was accessible. It was the door in front of the area where Ellie is, or came from, the Ellie's door. We're calling them Ellie's door, Beau's door, Suna's door, and Aura's door from now on. Though I'd say probably strictly that may not be true because you kind of all share this place, but those are all just my weird little DM rules and no one cares, except for maybe Piranha Plant on Discord. The 4 of you decided to rest and then go through that door. When you did so, you found yourselves in this kind of land of the dead. You managed to make it past a puzzle. You encountered some horrible creatures. Ellie directly encountered one of the gods of death known as Myrkul, a kind of skeletal figure, draped in shadow and smoke. You guys had to kind of face a couple of different challenges, including this kind of just fissure that opened up in the ground, and each of you descended into this darkness. You found yourselves as kind of skeletal forms. Oh, want to see some fan art?
Yes.
From your boy Jack Lack. There it is. Look at that. We have a personal art bard now. Jack Lack on the Table Story Discord. You can join the Table Story Discord for all sorts of things, but one of the rooms is the fan art room, and Jack Lack drew all of the characters as kind of skeletal forms, and it kind of looked like this. All of you appeared as skeletons, even though you didn't feel any different or anything like that. For the majority of last week, you were skeletal figures. You ended up getting into a combat with these other skeletons who every now and then would kind of look like they were taking form. When you fought with them and defeated them, you returned to your fleshy original selves, and you were you encountered this figure, this god of death known as Myrkul once more. Merkel said to each of you one thing. He, she, they, it. Death is a strange amalgamation of everyone and everything that has died. So it's. I'm gonna once again just gender Merkel as a he, but it isn't strictly true. He said Aura is a wilted leaf on a gnarled tree. Beau is stagnant water. Suna is failed ancient magic, and said to Ellie that truly I am old and you'll be doing me a favor, child, before disappearing before you. And that's where we ended the last session. So, if you're all ready, shall we get on with it?
Yes, please.
The next part here, as you find yourselves picking up exactly where we left off last week. The skeletal form that you all saw and all saw to be pretty similar to how you would expect your skeleton to look, apart from Aura who recognized horns on Myrkul coming out from underneath the robes.
Like tiefling horns?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Myrkul appears to you as you.
Got it.
Kinda. And, but much bigger. Myrkul was as a big form, much taller, much larger, as if it were to take fleshy form, Myrkul might look like a giant or something like that. Not enormous, like, not Shadow of the Colossus sized, but just like a large 8-9 foot tall giant, something like that. In skeletal form with the robe. Slightly less directly imposing, but still very tall. With this scythe that it was holding. And the four of you find yourselves once again in this kind of smoky, barren endlessness in front of you. There is a vague source of light. There is very little around you, but this time there is more of a landscape. At one point last week, you were surrounded by very little, little more than just kind of smoke on the ground and a fissure, this kind of canyon that had opened up in front of you. Now the landscape maybe resembles more like what we have on the image in front of you, with in the distance kind of jagged peaks of shadowed rocks and mountainscapes. Pieces of the land around you might represent kind of a broken wasteland, a mountainous range, something like that, but no flora, no fauna, no grass, anything like that. You will see peppered in the distance kind of ruined structures. For the most part, every now and then you've seen and been within what looked like old Gothic-looking castles and things like that, but very much fallen to ruin. And you probably see little elements of that around in the distance as well. Broken, crumbling towers, kind of base parts of buildings that when you find a structure has fallen almost completely away. Often there's a blueprint almost of the bottom of the structure around, and you can see things like that around you. Kicking the ground, you can even feel like dirt and rocks underfoot. But again, there's about 5 or 6 inches of smoke and shadowy darkness, kind of rolling very gently across the landscape endlessly. Elevation changes a little more as well. Where it was flat before, there are areas where you feel like it goes up and down. It looks a lot more like an open plains, or an area that you might find in the Kryn. However, just given away to nothing more than what looks like really just dark stone, like slate, and very dry, cracked earth. Probably be what's present. There isn't anyone around you though. The figure of Myrkul vanishes. The skeletons that you'd encountered are no longer here. Even the 2 versions of the castle that you found yourself aren't really here. There's probably something nearby that resembles kind of a broken castle wall that you can kind of help to figure out kind of how close or far away you are from things, in the sense that you can see a wall that's nearby, somewhere close enough that you could touch it, like 20 feet away or something like that. But also there are these broken castle pieces and jagged rocks all over the place. It seems like an area that you could travel around in, essentially, whereas before it felt like it stretched on endlessly, like you were in the Matrix construct almost. No one around you apart from you 4. You all feel pretty much like yourselves. You don't have your skeletal forms. You're back in your flesh again. You've got all of your items, your things with you that you've collected. You've got your... and you feel however you felt before in terms of spell slots, energy, and hit points, damage, things like that. And abilities. What do you guys do?
Is Myrkul we know his name, right? Sorry, before I go ahead.
You probably know about him. He's a pretty famous god. You can give me a religion checks if you want.
Okay. So would I know that he like appears to me in a form that resembles me?
I don't think so. I think you. I mean, it's up to you, but I assume that you would assume that they all saw Merkel with tiefling horns,
Yeah.
and they were big ones. They were like ram's horns, huge things, probably
I
bigger than
also
you've really seen on too many tieflings.
I would also just like to know, did we hear him insult everybody else or only our own insult?
No, he spoke to each of you individually. You each heard what he said to everybody.
Oh,
yeah,
so
he spoke to you as a
all right.
group. You didn't only
So,
hear
okay.
what you
Great.
heard. Yeah.
Bo, you're not stagnant to anything, Bo. Just don't listen to it, all right?
Right. No, I know so. Just it hurt.
Is your god a tiefling?
What?
My god.
Well,
Isn't
yeah,
he
we're here for
fully-
you.
Yeah.
He's not. No, I didn't. You think he has horns?
You don't see that.
No.
No.
They make mine look. They're huge. How could you not see that? He's a tiefling. It's quite obvious that he's a tiefling. It's
I think we're all seeing something different here because I don't see any horns. Unless there's something under the robe there that I'm not seeing. Which is a possibility.
I mean, I'm sure he could just. Actually, I rolled a 21 on religion. Would I just?
Yeah, you all know the name Merkel. Aura, Una on a 9 and an 8. You still know Merkel is a god of death. It's such a. He's not really regarded as a. There are several gods of death. There are, I think, somewhere around 10 of them. One of the sort of main domain of death seems to be ruled over by a figure that most people refer to known as Kelemvor. More of a neutral kind of god. Kelemvor is the type of god that you go to that would explain death to you as a balancing of the scales. Kelemvor would probably spend more time doing the speech from Lion King, where he says about the circle of life and death being part of life and a natural kind of balance and that kind of a thing. Merkel is more of a god of death in the sense that usually and not always, people would refer to Merkel in a necromancy way more so than anything else. Not necessarily that everyone who would pray to or respect Merkel would be evil mages and necromancers and people who covet the undead or use the undead in a terrible way. But for the most part, I think on a lower check especially, you would assume very quickly, oh, Merkel, that's the one that all these evil mages of stories old, or necromancers summoning up people, they might end up using elements of the faith of Merkel to represent that. Pretty much always represented in culture as a skull or skeletal in form, and generally kind of, although is like a Lord of the Dead and a Reaper type figure, isn't really all about balance, but more about like kind of death, decay, exhaustion, that kind of a thing. However, there are people that kind of respect Merkel, and Ellie, Bo, you would have extra information, just that you know that people that might work for the clergy but aren't clerics and things themselves would still respect Merkel. There are lots of undertakers and people like that deal with skeletons all day and deal with bones. Will send prayers to Merkel that would they might say for a skeleton, for a set of bones, to allow the bones to find rest and not to be brought back in an undead way and used against the living and things like that. So Merkel isn't always necessarily evil and referred to as evil in the world. But for the most part, he is kinda an evil god, and one that mages, necromancers, and things would use in any sort of negative way, I guess. You would also probably know his dogma, which is, know me and fear me. My embrace is for all and is patient but sure. The dead can always find you. My hand is everywhere. There is no door I cannot pass, nor guardian who can withstand me. And I'll give you that in our Discord group. And I think on a 21 and a 22, I'd imagine you don't know this, but you now know it after the conversation you just had with Kellenvor. With Merkel, sorry, not Kellenvor. Kellenvor's not here. That wasn't a Freudian slip.
I was confused.
I just read the word Kellenvor in my notes, and that was that. So, yeah, I think you guys on the 9 and 8 have more of a general sense of what I just said. I think Bo and Ellie are a lot more of a specific one. Maybe you had more interactions being from the big city, and there being a much wider wealth of clerics and churches and, you know, just rumors and things about evil mages that live in the sewers that are using skulls to bring back terrible undead Myrkul acolytes or something like that. You can determine it however you want, but yet both of you feel and understand, and maybe even hear or just feel a memory return to you in the sense that this dogma, these set of words come to you.
Well, I don't know how it works really, but perhaps we're seeing something different than each other. Where are you seeing the horns, Aura?
Just right where mine are, but they're
Right.
thick.
Well, I'm definitely not seeing that.
Look like a ram.
Oh, that must be terrifying.
I mean, I know a little bit about this guy. What does he want?
Well, I assume Ellie.
I don't think he wants me. I think he wants me to replace him.
Well, do you want to replace him? Or
Does it
or whatever?
Seem like I have a choice?
I think you do have a choice. It's just a matter of
We always have a choice.
maybe you two can work on some sort of arrangement, agreement. We can't have you taking his place now, Ellie. We need you.
No, I understand that. So, where'd he go? What are we doing here now? We're not done?
Well, I think we can just leave if we want.
What's the point of these places? Like,
I don't see a
why?
way out.
I don't know. I thought it was maybe a challenge or something that we had to do, but maybe this was it. Maybe it was just to see that, you have a decision to make and then you make it.
I just look over at Ellie.
I think Ellie would seem a lot more deeper in thought than just like, it wouldn't be so simple. She doesn't express emotion very well, but there was something that Myrkul said that clearly kind of affected her. So I'd just be like looking around, and do I see anything like a path or like something that looks like a guided way to go?
Give me a perception or an investigation check.
Okay. Is that right? Nope, that was persuasion. Oops. 16.
You look around and you specifically see an element to this place that suggests to you that it's simply being placed before you for you. You understood at some point last week that this is essentially Myrkul's boundary in the way that the place where you four come from, where you came through the door, is yours.
Yeah.
This place is his version. He created it. Perhaps over time, it either grew to reflect him or he created it to look like this. And therefore, he's able to, in a way, kind of present whatever he wishes to you. As it stands right now, Ellie, whenever you wish to engage, you simply have to walk to him.
I feel like once I get this feeling, it would bring flashbacks of when I was younger and walking into my home. Well, it wasn't my home actually, but a home I was very familiar with. And I think I would start walking forward, kind of like I did then. Just very hesitant.
As you start walking forward, everybody can see a change in the area around where Ellie is. She steps forward suddenly. She looks about after you mention where to go, what to do. And as she moves forward, with each step, there's a shimmer of a building that would appear around her. It's a building that none of you would recognize, but would at least understand to be one that looks similar to the architecture of Bologna. Specifically, you, Bo, would probably recognize it. Nowhere necessarily specific, just a building down one of the streets. And as she steps forward, it appears for a moment to you, broken and ruined, and then falls to dust again. A second footstep as this building reappears, and a doorway appears before her. She takes 2 or 3 more steps, and with each step, for a fraction of a second, you can see this building. And then Ellie moves in through a doorway, and the area shifts and changes around you once again. Ellie, you see a slightly different figure. In front of you as you step forward and this surrounding about you shifts, you feel a change and an almost tug of war between your surroundings. The figure in front of you that begins to materialize. First, a skeleton, no scythe, no shadowy robe, but just a skeleton with nothing on it. Not as large as Myrkul was, much smaller. As you step through a doorway, this kind of broken ruin of a building around you takes form and looks a lot more like your home in Bologna, the place that you have come to know. The figure in front of you, with every step that you take, a little more flesh appears as a friendly older woman appears for a few moments before you. Somebody that you recognize and know very, very well, but it doesn't remain. For a moment as you step through, you create a version of a building around you that is your home in Bologna. You create a reflection of Myrkul that is Gertrude. However, this tug of war between you is quickly lost. The building falls just to dust and ruin around you. The landscape about you doesn't shift and change too much, but your immediate area, and all of you see this, does change. The figure of Gertrude that shifts and changes in front of you too. The figure of Merkel that you've just met. He grows upwards and outwards, larger and larger, until he meets his sort of 9-foot tall version. The smoke piling up around him coalesces into his robe. In his hand, you see a scythe appear, dripping with smoke and darkness. From underneath where you guys are, an enormous skull, from our bird's eye view perspective, opens on the underneath where you are. The ground cracking and splitting as a maw of a set of bones. These no longer rock, no longer brick and mortar or natural slate, but just huge bones of jaws pierce up through the ground around you and settle and stop. For the most part, you four stand inside the lower jaw of a mouth that comes up like this. And in front of you, Myrkul is surrounded by the upper jaw. The upper jaw gives way to a castle, a building kind of area, whereas the lower jaw remains bone, like a set of walls around you, except a strange, broken, yellowed jaw. The castle area around Myrkul then transforms. There are pillars that come up out of the ground that look like those things at Stonehenge, with the two big rocks and then one sitting along the top of it, around behind him. And then immediately behind him, where the jaw is, it gives way to stone and brick, crumbled castles once again. Myrkul stands in a broken pool, kinda. Circular pool that was probably once maybe a fountain, that kind of a thing, but easily broken and dry. No water to be seen, Bo, unfortunately. The smoke and sands and darkness swirl around you. The images of Bologna vanish, and upwards slowly from the smoke, you witness two very strange-looking animals that appear, one to Myrkul's left and one to Myrkul's right. At first, nothing more than just dust and smoke, and then a howl and a set of barking dogs appear beside him. And by a set of barking dogs, I mean very ugly, two-headed death dogs. Hounds that have skin that's pulled taut over bones. They're little more than skeletal dogs. From their mouths drips nothing but blood.
Well,
both of their heads snapping at one another before Myrkul lightly taps his scythe onto the ground, and they snap to attention, looking towards you.
Oh, shit.
And I'm going to need you all to roll some initiative as you find yourselves facing down the god of death.
Death dog. Great.
And of course, 2 death dogs. Well, this is my campaign.
I'm so terrified. I rolled a 9 for my initiative for those listening.
I forgot to click my tracker.
That's okay. I'll do it in a sec. Alright, let me roll for everything here. Where's my dice? Wow, fuck yeah.
No, don't. You're not allowed to be enthusiastic about
this is the god of death. I have one job
to be on our side.
No, I'm not.
You're at least supposed to be neutral.
No, I'm not. I am supposed to be Myrkul, the god of death.
No.
We rolled a natural 20.
Oh, great.
A 19 on the initiative, so you'll be pleased to know.
Great.
And then I got a 21 on this death dog. And an 18 on this death dog. So that's how good my rolls were.
Right.
Now.
It's been fun traveling with you all.
Yep. Likewise.
Now, I will warn you up front. I have no idea if this is balanced.
That means it's not.
That means it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be technically balanced, but I have no idea.
Let's fucking go.
And I went, you know what? It's the god of death. So I'm not balancing it. They've been playing this game for, what are we on? Episode 30 something? You've got the idea by now. Let's see. So, as all this stuff appears around you, Ellie, I'm going to put you about here. Because you were kind of stepping...
I'm going to go down first. It's great.
Yeah, well, you were stepping forward.
It is your paradise, after
we are in your paradise, and you were the one... You were stepping forward, so technically you're a little ahead of the others. Not by much. This all happened very quickly, I think, as well, as all of this appears around you. And you see this figure before you. Figure of death when he strikes the ground, the figure of death, you get the sense that the time for talking is over, as soon as the death dogs kind of turn their heads towards you, they both start running at where you are. I'm just gonna roll 2 die and then a third one to do one other thing. Since all of Death and Death's minions get to go first. Let's see how it works out. These dogs rush forward immediately, barking, yelping, nipping each other as they run, kind of like those hyenas from The Lion King. To bring it back to The Lion King again, I like The Lion King, okay? But imagine those hyenas, but way more horrific, very big. They don't really even represent a dog breed. They're just kind of aberrations, these kind of these terrifying beasts that are part flesh, dripping blood from jaws, and bones sticking out, ribs that are pushing downwards from their very large bodies as they run forward. Ellie, they start barking, but they run past you as they are set onto Bo and Aura immediately.
Oh no.
I'm just going to roll them both up first. As these death dogs come running in, and they're going to attempt to bite you each. Now, which one technically were you on? Okay, Aura. First thing that happens here is that this dog is going to try and bite you, just purely to save any fun meta or excellent twist plot reveals. I'm going to roll with my actual dice, making that a 14 and a 15 on its multi-attack. Both of these heads rush towards you, running at you. One of the heads kind of snaps at you, the other snaps at you. What is your AC?
My AC is 18.
Suck it.
How do you avoid this dog as it runs? And it's there. You know, like dogs can run fast and then suddenly they're just rushing at you. And this thing is very quickly moving towards you, but it barrels towards you maybe too quickly, and you can avoid them, or you can deflect them in some way. What do you think you do to avoid these two very large heads biting at you?
I see them running at me, and I run towards this stone wall that's next to me, and I do a jump flip off of it, and they run underneath me, and then I land in like Captain America pose and look back at them.
Nice. Yeah, they probably run like around you, right? They probably like do that thing where they come to a kind of stop but still running. The dogs do as they kind of turn now as if they're going to come back towards you again. And then the same thing pretty much happens to you here, Bo, as Ellie sneak attacks.
I didn't mean to click it. I was trying to click something else.
That's exactly how it goes. All right, so this is a 17 and a 10 against your AC, Bo. What is your AC?
14, so one of them definitely bites me good.
One bite here. All right, so first thing that happens is this. Oh, wow. You probably do a similar thing to Aura, I imagine, in that you avoid or jump out backwards or react quickly. pretty much one of the heads snaps and misses you. The other one, I think, probably just nips at you. It catches you, mostly maybe catching part of your coat or your clothing, but just catches the edge of your flesh, and you feel like one of the very large canines on this canine tear through a little bit of your skin. It's going to deal 3 piercing damage, but I need a Constitution saving throw as well. Wow, that's
22.
a natural 22. Damn. Okay. That's the end of the death dogs.
Owie.
But it is Myrkul's turn. Technically the other death dog goes after, but I just did them both at the same time. Let's see here. This is fun. Far away, you. Target number 1, 35 feet. All right.
People run.
So I think as these dogs rush towards you and then suddenly run past you, Ellie, as you look up, you see that Myrkul appears to be staring directly at you. There's another light tap of the scythe on this kind of, and Myrkul is standing in like a giant stone fountain base. It's not like he's like raised up. It's like it's on the ground, but it's almost like he's in a giant bowl or in a giant pool of some sort. And the smoke kind of washing over it, especially from his robes that don't betray any feet or legs on the giant figure, make it kind of hard to make out what's going on. But as the scythe comes down, it breaks a little piece of this stone off at the edge of this bowl, and as it falls down, there is a terrible sound, and it sounds very much like the toll of a bell that you hear. As again, I'm gonna roll here. Oh wow, that is a 25 to hit, which I'm guessing hits, unless you want to do anything
It
special.
missed it. No, I'm just kidding. Wait.
Yeah?
Yeah, it hits.
Alright, so this is going to deal
Oh, great.
16 necrotic damage.
All right. That's nothing.
It's
Just kidding.
potentially genuinely nothing. Do you have resistances?
The poison.
Just poison? I can't remember.
Well, you told me poison.
Let's see. I'm going
I
to
still did half my health almost.
see if I can open your sheet. Yeah, okay, so it's just poison. I couldn't remember if you had resistance to necrotic. But yeah, it's just poison. Oh well. You so yeah, you take 16 necrotic damage. As you hear this toll of this bell, it feels, this isn't like psychic damage. You hear these dogs running past you. You hear them barking, but the sound of everything going on around you as you hear Aura suddenly move into motion, Bo kind of jump backwards. The toll of this bell hits you and everything slows around you for a moment as it feels like a little piece of whatever life force you have that's holding you together still is struck. Like you're hit somewhere deeper than your flesh as you take this 16 necrotic damage. And then everything returns to you. You feel, bad, but nothing's still going slow-mo for you for a second. And that brings us to you, Bo.
Okay. Oh God. First things first, I'm gonna use a healing word on poor Ellie. I gently call out the words "bada boom," my magic healing words, and hopefully she instantly feels that healing boost, and her wounds start to heal slowly.
Thank you.
Welcome. Oh God. I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration on Aura.
The healing word is a bonus action.
Oh, it's a bonus?
Yes. Healing word is your ranged bonus heal. So essentially it the payoff here is that, or whatever it's called, is that you cure wounds is touch, so you have to be next to them. Healing word is distance, but healing word does less. and yeah, healing word is a bonus action. Cure wounds is a main action. So unfortunately, you've already consumed
Whew.
thing.
Very well, then I guess I'm just gonna have to brace myself. Because that, Devil Dog is, not looking so very happy.
Did you already use your action? Or just a bonus action?
Yeah, you just used a bonus. You can still use an action.
You can still use an action.
Sorry, I was
so
slightly distracted.
that's
And you
all
can-
right.
Can I back away like a wuss puss? I don't know if he's gonna attack.
If you back away, it will have an opportunity to attack you,
Oh, boy.
but you can also attack it if you'd like.
You know what? Let's do it.
You're engaged with the thing. You have a full action left, so you
Okay.
could do any of your main actions. So that's a full main action spell, or an attack with a melee weapon would be.
Oh,
That is correct. You could also use your action to disengage.
You can use your action to do special things like disengage, which will consume the action. You won't be able to attack again, but you can
all right.
remove yourself
Would I
from
be
the.
able to
You
use,
can
like,
run away.
blindness or
Yeah,
something too?
You can back up. Yes. That's not a bonus action. That's a spell.
Okay.
So you can
All
do
right.
that if you'd like.
I will cast blindness on the Devil Dog in front of me.
Nice. All right. I will
Very
give
well
you
done.
a saving throw. This I can roll on the screen. Wow, a natural 1/natural 3.
Thank the dogs.
Yes, a super fail. Blinding this thing, and you've done this before, I assume it's the inky
Yes.
blackness over the eyes that you cast for the death dog. Alright, I'll give it this little symbol to remind myself.
All right. That ends my turn.
And okay, yeah, so how does it look? What do you say? What do you do? Because this thing is like a big hound with two
Yeah,
heads snapping and biting at you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna start scolding it. Bad dog, see no more. And then the black clouds start to shroud both its heads.
Yes, and there's now these kind of darkness around the heads. You see the dog kind of snap wildly now, as if it can't see you. Give me a perception check, Bo. 10 is just enough. You do see one of the heads has a kind of rotten, undead set of nostrils still, and you see them open and flare as it starts to sniff the air around, trying to kind of pick up on your scent. But the dogs kind of definitely look blind, and they, as soon as you cast this thing, they
Hope
stop
I don't smell bad.
directly focusing you, but start sniffing to try and locate you. Yeah, that's the end of your turn. Yeah, you don't want to move?
Yeah. Is it too late to disengage? Possibly.
It is too late to disengage.
No, it is.
You'd have to use an action to
right.
disengage, but I believe you can still back up. You can use your movement now.
Can.
It's gonna bite me
The
though.
thing will still get to attack you, but it'll have
Yeah.
disadvantage on its attack rolls.
It does have a disadvantage because it is blind.
Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna risk it for the biscuit. I'll stay put. And my turn.
Smart.
He's learning. Ellie, your turn.
I'm gonna look at him, and blood's gonna start trailing down my left eye as I use Echo's eye on Myrkul.
Let's see here. Wow, you... Yeah, I guess you get this one. So, Echo Eye is a homebrew move that Ellie has, which allows Ellie to... I was going to get the real wording, but I don't know where it went. Here we go. So, for 1 minute, you're able to innately understand and copy one feature of the chosen creature that's hostile towards you. Features are the kind of little special things that they can do. If it doesn't have one of those things, you'll get some insightful information and stuff like that. The Echo Eye lasts for 1 minute, and you can use a bonus action to move it to another creature if you want to, just so you're aware. That's part of it as well. But this creature does have a creature feature that you get. But I'm going to word it slightly weirdly for you. If I can pull this sheet back up. So, at the start of your turn... Oh man, this is going to be useful. At the start of your turn, you will regain 10 hit points every turn.
Holy shit!
Ellie, you have regeneration now. You're able to regenerate
Does
damage.
that mean he regenerates? That's meta knowledge that I'm forgetting.
Ellie's aware of this to a degree. Yeah, you understand this in whichever way you want to perceive it. However, if you take damage from water, your regeneration doesn't function. And you can only die if your turn starts with 0 hit points and you don't regenerate.
That is very valuable information. Holy shit! I'm gonna forget it all right now.
But Ellie would now know this, right?
Yes,
You
you
would.
know this, and that's part of this thing. You're reading it, kind of like when you cast Libra in Final Fantasy, or the Sharingan in Naruto, or whatever. So you understand this. You gain this power. You understand this innately about this creature, and you understand that for now, for 1 minute, your skin heals like Wolverine, basically. That you are relatively sensitive for some reason to water, and you can't be killed unless you're hit with water and damage. Pretty much during the 6 seconds it takes you to regenerate.
Okay.
That's how that works. So yeah, you understand it.
I stand up after getting healed, and I just kind of wipe away some of the blood and dust, and just go, that's so fucking cheap. And I turn back to Bo and I say, water. Do you have water? Any water?
Water?
I have some water. Why?
Did you? What? Wait, why?
Now isn't really the time to quench our thirst, Ellie.
You need to cast water on him. A spell, anything you guys got. All you fancy magic finger people.
All right,
Spell,
why?
water.
Why?
He can
Why?
regenerate.
All right,
I can regenerate now too, but he can regenerate.
all right, and
And
water.
you see blood coming down her eye, by the way, again. So
And water stops that, or what?
it stops There's a lot to process right now. Okay?
I only have
I've
so
got
much
this ability.
water, Ellie, so we have to be very strategic
Good,
about
give
this.
it to Bo. Bo, you do that water thing that you do with your fingers and cast it on him, hurt him. He cannot regenerate. That's all I know. Oh, and he can die if he can't regenerate. So if
And
he
water does that?
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. His weakness is water. Maybe he just, he's not a thirsty person.
I'll take my water skin out and I'll
Alright.
just untie it or undo the top, and I'll start pouring it on the ground so Bo can harness it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta wait your
start
turn, right?
taking it with him.
Yeah, Bo, you're very aware of the water here. If you ever need to, you can sense any water anywhere. For the most part, there is none here. In the landscape, in the air around you, that kind of thing. You maybe get a sense of water, obviously, off of each other's bodies and blood, that kind of thing. Maybe a little sweat. But the water that are in the jugs of water, or the water that was thrown on the ground, you're very aware of it, and you can use this. You can use this to fire off your bonus action, and it takes you a bonus action to do your kind of magic missile of water that you can do.
Okay.
I just take my flask and I toss it to around between Bo and Suna, so that way it's there. I'm not gonna just pour it in front of me.
I just poured it out.
It's not a lot, but Bo, you're super aware of it. You guys probably can't even see it because it's under this kind of layer of mist that's on the ground. But Bo, you're hyper aware of, you can pinpoint it exactly and access it and use it.
All right.
And then let's see.
Can Bo use vomit? That's a very strange question, but
I mean, I guess technically, yeah. I don't see why not.
credit.
It's whatever.
Please.
If there's water in the vomit, which I know we're
Which-
getting a little scientific,
Yeah,
but for
right.
me and the way I run campaigns, then yes.
all right. Thank you.
Oh.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Bo uses vomit. It's super effective.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious as to how this works. I might have some spells that could, if we run out of, regular canteen water.
Oh
Just saying.
boy. I guess
Could always just pee, You don't need to.
That too.
Well, I'd rather vomit than drop my drawers in front of everyone right now, to be honest.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, though.
You say so.
Yes, and I do.
All right.
I'm. So I do this, and so I use my bonus action because I use that.
Yep. You have your main action and movement.
Yeah, I'm debating how I do this. I think what I'm going to do is run up. I'm gonna stealth for my action. Can I do that?
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Hide
Okay.
action.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stealth for my action, and then I'm just gonna stay here and prep myself for my next move, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, roll me a stealth.
Okay.
Wow.
Come on, Ellie.
26.
Nice.
Had a girl.
If you want it to look amazing, you can literally kind of do what he does in that he envelops himself in smoke and darkness, and you can kind of do that too.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
A girl.
Yeah, she kind of turns away, and there's a roll of smoke and darkness, and it's not very light here. There's a reason that there's dark vision on. It's extremely dark. There is those twinkling lights in the distance and a kind of double moon thing going on that you sense isn't really a moon. That's no moon, but you do have a small amount of light here, just enough to kind of cover the area, give you a light glow in those of you that don't have dark vision. But really, it's pretty damn dark here, so it's a lot easier for you, Ellie, to hide in the shadows and the smoke here. Brings us to you, Aura. You're kind of fighting with a dog, and yes, you can do any actions in any order. You can do movement, and then a bonus action, and then the rest of your movement, and then an action. You can do it. You can mix and match.
Okay.
Whichever way you
I
want
would-
with those things.
I see the dog, obviously, and so what I want to do is catch Zephyr Strike first. Which I don't know if I
What it does.
put it in chat.
Yep. So that is a bonus action for the duration. Your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks yet. In addition, the first time you make a weapon attack on your turn, you make the attack with advantage, and your speed increases by 30 feet. Yes.
So then, after I do that, I got the fast feet now, and so I look at the dog, and then I bolt towards Myrkul, and I'm gonna stop about 10-15 feet from him or her, and then I'm going to cast Spike Growth underneath him.
Very nice.
Okay, give me the spike growth as well.
Okay.
Okay, 20-foot radius centered on a point within range. Okay, so, oh right, I see. So the area becomes difficult terrain. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels. Transformation on the ground is camouflage to enable any creature that can't see the area at the time of the spell, which is everyone. This cast must make a wisdom check against your spell save to recognize what's even happening. All right, well, I'll do that. What's your spell save DC? It's at the top in the middle.
Top in the middle, it is.
Definitely higher than 5, right?
It's 11. Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll see if I have something I can put on the ground to represent where this thing is. Are you casting it like as if he's in the center of it, or are you casting it as if
I imagined it kind of grows out from where I'm standing in the middle.
Alright, I can do this here. Now, how big does this thing go? 20 foot.
20 foot, yep.
So it's 1 square bigger than that, I think. From the edge to the middle, from the window to the... It's so ginormous.
I mean, if I can cast it, in my head, I assumed I could only cast it from where I was standing and it grew out for me. But if I can cast it in front of myself and just kind of envelop Myrkul in it, that's what I'm going to do.
I mean, that's how big it is.
Yeah.
If you want, I'll tell you what I'll do.
That's why I ran ahead of everybody.
I'll make it into a token, and I'll give you the ability to control it.
Okay.
You can click that and put it where you want. And if you want to be really specific, you can hold Alt while you do it.
So that means she doesn't have to run that far forward then, otherwise she'll be entangled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is everyone.
Okay.
Everyone gets caught in this, even allies.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what I do is I run forward, realize it's a little too close. I don't want to be that close, so I'll step outside of it, and then I'll just cast it, envelop Myrkul in it.
All right, and there's where you want it, yeah?
Yes.
All right, it is done. So underneath the smoke and shadow here, all of these vines burst up, spiked with these horrible thorns and brambles as they rush up along some of the edges of the stone castle walls that are around the back of Myrkul here. They rush up the side of this pot thing that Myrkul is standing in, and they cover the area suddenly and quickly with all of these thorns and spikes. Yeah, I think, and for the most part, it's kind of hard, I think, for everyone to see them. You can make out somewhat. In fact, you know what? I think you can all give me perception checks. Actually, everyone give me perception checks apart from you, Aura. You know exactly where they are.
15 for me.
Yep, you know where they are.
24 for Bo and I.
Oh yeah, you all see this happen. You know where they are. You understand what Aura has done, and yeah, you can tell. Okay.
All right.
And yeah, they cover this whole area here. It's running along everything, but they are enveloped quite quickly in shadow and smoke that's running along the base of this area. It's quite hard to make them out for a certain god of death. Is that the end of your turn? Yes. So.
I think so, yeah. I mean, in a weird way, you see Aura turn to the death dog and start coaxing it by like clapping. Come here. And that's how I'll end my turn.
You know what? I'll give you a free animal handling check.
Okay.
Just because we never get to do animal handling, and it's a fun check.
15.
15. Yeah, the one that you ran from was kind of already looking at you in that way that you kind of like dogs will just follow anything that's moving quickly as you run from it. I think it snaps at your feet, but you're just very easily able to dance around it as you cast this Zephyr Strike and move very quickly all of a sudden, appearing over the other side, incanting maybe briefly and summoning up these vines that grow over everything. As you turn around, you can already see this thing is kind of head down, tail up, wagging, kind of ready to come for you again. And yeah, and then it's Suna's turn. What do you want to do?
I think I do take a moment to look around. I remember the very first fight we had, and everything was so clumsy, and we'd never really understood each other. And you know, I see Bo standing his ground, and you know, casting blind on this dog, and Ellie has just disappeared into the darkness, and Aura is rushing up to take care of Myrkul, and then I cast slow on the two death dogs.
Okay. Let me see what it does.
You want me to put it in the chat?
You can do, yeah, but I think, yeah, it's a really long one. Oh, it's not long. So you alter time. Around 6 creatures of your choice within a 40-foot cube within range. They succeed on a whiz save or be affected by the spell. So let me do that straight away. So we're going to go, there's red and blue dogs. Left is red, right is blue.
Hold on. It's a 40-foot cube, right?
Yes. You want to try
So if I cast it in the middle of them, because the dog is 40 feet away from Myrkul.
That's right, yeah, you can get all of them. You can cast it here and just do it like that.
Yes, I want to do that.
Okay, yeah.
So I slam my quarterstaff down, my walking stick, and lightning comes down, and I cast slow.
Nice. Okay, so I'll do the death dogs first. Whiz save
Sure.
left. Fail. Whiz save right.
No,
Mate.
that one wins. Yep.
And then whiz save Merkel, which I have to roll. Fail. Definite fail.
All
okay,
right.
so one make really. The other two are affected by this slow spell. Target speed is halved, takes a -2 penalty to AC and Dex save throws, and it can't use reactions. On its turn, it can either use an action or a bonus action, not both, regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items. Actually, remind me of the abilities. No, we're good. Magic items, it can't make more than one melee or range attack during its turn. The creature attempts to cast a spell. You roll a d20 on an 11 or higher. The spell doesn't take effect until the creature's next turn. That's kind of fun.
And the creature must use its action to complete it.
Yes.
If it can't, the spell is wasted.
So,
Stuck it, Myrkul.
Slowed. Nice. Okay, so the one on the right seems to be completely unaffected by this spell. It's so hyper-focused on aura that even magic cannot tear its attention away from
That's all right.
attempt to hunt her down. But the other one definitely kind of slows down and wags its head a little oddly, a little slowly. Myrkul also kind of slowed down, although probably doesn't look like it because Myrkul hasn't been moving or doing anything really the entire time, but is under the effects of the spell. And that's your action. What else do you want to do?
I would also like to, I'm going to use another time magic here, and it is my last one for the day. So I'm just trying to decide which one. I'm going to, I'm going to accelerate aura. As a bonus action, you may use this to move forward the Wheel of Time. A targeted friendly creature within 20 feet is now allowed to use one additional action.
Okay, remember you're accelerated. And also remind me...
Is that like now? As in now she can use an action, or is that on her next turn?
I think it's on her next turn. She gets
Right.
another action during that time.
All right.
I'll double check if you want. I can look. As a reaction used is when you take an action, you're able to... wrong one. What one did you do? Accelerate.
Accelerate, yeah.
Is now allowed to use one additional action. Yeah, I think that's on her turn.
All right.
It's kind of like
All right.
having action surge for a fighter, so I think that's what it is.
Great. Then that is where I end my turn.
Okay. Nice. So you slow down the enemies and speed up an ally.
Right.
The death dog, which was
Wasted potential, my ass.
going after Aura, does so. Comes running after you, Aura, and both of its heads are going to snap at you and bite at you. This is the one that isn't slowed or anything like that. It's an 18 and a 20, not a natural 20.
Isn't your ass my AC again?
Yeah, I should
18.
know them by now, but I don't. It is 18. Okay, so makes it, breaks it, or I guess I'll just roll. Can you roll me 2 Constitution saving throws?
Sure can, Brad. A 9
Uh-huh.
and a 6.
Wow, two fails. Okay. You goad this dog over to you, and it runs at you. You are barely finished probably casting this spell as you turn around. You're somewhat speeded up by Zephyr Strike, but I don't think it gives you any ability in terms of defense. It's all attack stuff, isn't it? Yep. So, dog just rushes at you, and I think you don't have a shield or anything like that. And this dog, your sword is big enough that you can kind of use it for defense a lot of the time. And as you bring it in front of you, the dog kind of just appears underneath this thing. One biting into one leg, the other biting higher up on the thigh of your other leg and sinking their teeth in. You feel it's awful as you get bitten, and that's how you take the piercing damage. But you're also diseased.
Oh, okay, cool.
You contract a disease here. You are poisoned until the disease is cured. And I need to remind myself what poison is, but I'm pretty sure it's a disadvantage on everything. You you have advantage on one strike at the beginning of your turns. There are other stipulations to this disease as well, but let me just double check the poison condition.
Death disease.
Which I did. I opened up all my stuff and then I had to restart my computer, and this always happens.
Disease of time.
The disease of time. A poison creature has disadvantage on attack and ability checks. Okay?
Okay.
So you are poisoned. Let me give you a little symbol on your thing.
D&D's so fun, guys.
I'm so sorry, okay? This is the last time I will ever run a D&D, I promise.
No, it's fun. Did you say I got 12 damage?
12 piercing damage from 2 bites in both legs, and then got poisoned and diseased from both. And,
awesome. I have 2 temporary hit points.
Let's go first.
Those go first. Okay.
Then the rest.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Thank goodness for those.
Yes.
Right. Those are at 0 again. Okay.
Correct. Let me see here. Okay. So yeah, remember you are poisoned, and you. That's it. Actually, you're just.
That's it. Really,
poisoned.
that's all.
But you do. It's probably slightly meta, but I'll let you understand to a degree just through the bite. Maybe as you look down, maybe you see it tear through whatever you're wearing, like whatever pants you're wearing, and you see it tear through, and you see as this thing bites into you that there's around the wound, the blood rushes out, but you can see these kind of black lines spread out from the wound as you wrench your leg free. The puncture wounds will have these kind of odd and horrible black lines that are spreading out from the impact zone there, and you may assume somewhat that you have contracted some sort of horrible death disease.
Well, if I see that, the first thing I'm going to do is yell out to them. Don't let it bite you.
Are you all right?
I think it's got something. It's not. There's something in my blood.
Don't worry.
I'm just like, I don't know.
Don't worry, Aura.
Don't let it bite you.
All right.
Hang in there, Aura.
And you are weakened considerably by the poison, so you feel that too. You won't feel good. Now, Myrkul moves.
Uh-oh.
There are no legs to carry him, but there are legs.
I just picture him picking up his like shadow skirt and then walking with his skeleton legs over.
Well, Myrkul doesn't know about the thorns which rake at Myrkul's bony legs. Myrkul takes, let's see, what was it?
1, 2, 3, 4 squares. Did he just move through?
I'll give you 4. Why not? 4
I
squares.
was just counting off the map.
So you will have to roll me 12d4. Is that right?
Oh, please.
16.
Me? I do that?
D4,
Yes.
16d4.
16d4.
Yeah.
Come
Okay,
on.
16 D4.
Let's go.
38. Oh, there's a lot of ones in there.
Oh, good lord.
A lot of damage. Now that's a lot of damage.
Still very good. Also, he can only move, or she, because I think Suna thinks it's a she. She can only move half her movement. By the way.
He, she, they, it all work. They're all correct.
Right.
So you,
Just reminding, I'm going to be that annoying nag.
you can say whatever you want. They're all
It's my
correct.
job.
So 38 damage to Myrkul. I don't think you know or see the effects of this because you don't see any legs or anything. The bottom of Myrkul is enshrouded in this constant moving shadow of a robe that is made of shadow that kind of fills over his frame, and you don't necessarily know whether it's done damage, but we know, and I'm just letting you know that it did do damage.
But it doesn't look like it did any damage to us.
I just don't think you know. It's just too
All right.
hard to tell. There's too much smoke
No,
and
that's
shadow
important.
and stuff
Yeah,
to
because
you
and
don't
he's not-
see them. If it was a person,
They're
you'd
not
see them
reacting.
cutting their legs, kind
right.
of thing.
But there's no reaction either. All right.
Oh no, there's
That's
no reaction.
very
at all.
interesting. All right.
And let's see here. Let me just. Got
That's
too many
frightening.
windows open. Okay. 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 Sorry, I'm mathing. Okay.
It's all right.
Nothing else goes off. Merkel moves, and casually, in as casually as is possible, to move to this position, silently.
Like he has all the time in the world. What an asshole.
Silently, no words spoken, no more goading words after the words that were spoken to you, a few minutes ago. And as Merkel comes to a stop, he turns and brings that scythe down again and hitting the ground. All of you hear a toll of a bell. I need everyone to roll me Constitution saving throws.
I think it can't do this yet, right?
Why?
Is this a spell?
No. It gets one action, right?
It does get one action or one bonus action.
Yeah, this is its
I
one
wasn't
action.
sure if it was a spell. All right.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Creatures are annoying, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's all right.
I might regret asking this. I have to roll this as disadvantage, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, which one was it?
Constitution.
All right.
This is some damn good rolls.
Wow. Aura. Holy shit.
But not
For those
good enough
listening, she
for some
rolled
of
an
you.
18 and a 19.
Did.
Holy.
Suna rolled a 22. Bo and
That's
Ellie
right, I
rolled a
did.
14, which isn't high enough. First, Bo and Ellie, you take 11 necrotic damage. Same
Holy shit.
feeling as Merkel hits the ground with this scythe, and you hear a tolling. All of you hear the toll of the bell. But for Bo and for Ellie, there's that sensation of something in you, a life force being struck. It doesn't feel like you've been hit by a sword, or even necessarily hit by like a spell of fire or force. It feels deeper, like something that, whatever it is that's in you that keeps you alive, that isn't your brain, your heart, your lungs, that kind of thing, is struck as this bell tolls and everything around you loses focus for just a brief moment. You each take a level of exhaustion as well.
All of us.
Nope, just the failures.
All right.
And that's why we're going to go to a little break here.
Holy shit.
Good time for a break.
I'm sweating.
And it's a good one. This is like a nice little game of chess.
We're
So
just
terrible.
getting
You and the god of
started.
death.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are just getting started.
You
I
are.
like
You-
the way you're thinking, Bo.
Yeah. We will see how it works out after the break. And give everyone a chance to go grab a drink of water. Everyone go
Bring
get
it,
some
yes,
water.
bring all the water
Everyone
back that
needs
you
to
can.
bring back
We
a
will
glass
need
of
it.
water.
Yes, please do.
For
We'll
the gang.
know if you don't.
Yeah. We'll be back after the break to see how and if these guys are able to deal with the god of death, Myrkul. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Hello, welcome back. What the fuck just happened there?
I'm eating. I'm just finishing.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
All right. Bingo cards. Sorry, I thought you said you were
Yeah.
okay. Did you not? Feel bad now. Normally ask.
No, it's okay.
All right, here we
I'm
are.
almost done.
Welcome back. It is the second half. The boys are fighting the god of death. Become very London because I played the Shadow of Mordor and all of the creatures, the orcs, were from South London for some reason. And it makes me talk like I normally speak, and I like to try and pretend that I sound like this online. So, they're all fighting the god of death, Myrkul. Myrkul did his move, which hurt Bo, hurt Ellie, and gave you a level of exhaustion. Again, that's only exhaustion gives you disadvantage on ability checks. And by the way, I'm super wrong, by the way, Aura. You didn't have disadvantage on your last roll.
Oh, but I
It's
rolled
only
well
ability
considering.
checks. A saving throw is not an ability check. You would have had the same roll.
Okay.
It doesn't affect anything.
Oh,
It doesn't affect.
man, I thought I was like, look, I did this with disadvantage, so it's just a regular roll.
I mean, it was
There
still
no-
good. You still rolled two high numbers, but
Okay.
it would have just been the first one either way, which is what it was. So it doesn't change
Alright.
how it went, but yeah, just so you're aware, a saving throw is not an ability check, and I checked that one myself instead of being shouted at by Twitch chat. Let's continue. So the next one up is the Death Dog, which is slowed.
That is
and
correct. Yes.
Is blind. Slow and blind,
Mm-hmm.
which means disadvantage on the bites it shall try and make against Bobo. Alright, first roll coming in. 2 rolls. That
I
is... Go on.
I think it can't make. It says regardless
Oh, only
of
gets
the creature's
one
abilities or magic items, it can only make one
Which is
melee attack.
interesting, yeah, because this only has multi-attack because it has 2 heads.
Yeah, well,
But
that's
it
why I
doesn't matter.
cast slow.
Yeah. Well, normally things have multi-attack just to make up for the fact that you guys can do so much, and usually they can't do a lot. So
Right.
they hit twice, but in this case, I think it's purely because it has 2 heads that it has multi-attack, but still, it's still multi-attack, it still counts, you're correct. And that is an 8,
Thank you.
which is a miss. So this thing is like,
I've got you, Bo.
yeah, Bo's like kind of moving around this thing. It starts moving very slowly as Suna casts her own spell on it. You blind the
It's
thing,
like,
and it just snaps out wildly. Both of its heads probably snap slowly and wildly, just unable to move you as you're moving around this thing. Bringing it to your turn. If you move out of the way of this thing, it still will get an opportunity attack, but it'll be the same thing. What just happened there?
It cannot take reactions.
It cannot actually. You can just move around, do whatever you want. You're
Okay,
free.
all right. For
Correct.
first order
Welcome.
of business, I'm gonna go to. Oh God, for Aura, I'm gonna go to Aura. I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration on her, curing of her poison.
Such a good idea to do that.
Yeah, because it's nasty.
Yes. You cast Lesser Restoration. I don't know if you've ever cast this before, but what does it look
No.
like as you do this?
I run to Aura, and without saying anything, I touch her shoulder, and I instantly start casting Lesser Restoration. My hand starts to kind of glow a green color, and wherever the bite wound was, the poison just starts to seep out from her bite wound.
This
Slowly.
dark poison pools, and only a small amount of it runs down your leg and away. Those dark veins that had appeared around the wound vanish, and you're no longer diseased or poisoned. So you no longer have the poison status, which means the disadvantage on everything, basically. And also, you no longer have the disease, which literally slowly kills you over time.
I'd feel better immediately because I feel like I felt, well, like you said, I felt weaker. I see it like seep out of my wounds. Oh, I didn't know you knew how to do that.
First time I'm using it, but
Oh my God, thank you.
I know it. Whew.
And I just like, I'm like trying to wipe the poison off my leg because I imagine it's like this black liquid and I'm just kind of like pushing it off onto the floor.
You still have the bite wounds.
Well, yeah, but can I push off the stuff
Oh,
seeping
yeah.
out?
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
no,
sure,
I
yeah.
could use that. Wait, hold on, I could use that.
Why? What
I
you
could
want?
use-
Well,
I'm gonna use that.
Okay,
with,
well then-
with the water you've poured, and I'm now gonna try and control the elements on Myrkul.
Yes.
Yes.
So you can control the water that is present within these liquids, and reshape it into a small dagger of ice, I assume.
Yes.
And then just fire it at Merkel.
I will.
Yes.
Without hesitation.
You get you roll me a d4. Wow, nice, a 4.
The 4.
So, wow, my brain is so great. Okay, you almost did 14 damage then, because that's how bad I am at math. So let me just check what this does, if it does anything else. Let's see. Oh. Roll me a d10. Maybe you will do 14 damage.
Oh.
Hello. Welcome back. Just a little joke there. The
Glitch in
stream
the
died
Matrix.
because Merkel came after. Merkel didn't like that. What you did, but Merkel didn't like it
No, he didn't.
and decided
no.
to try and kill the stream.
Ew.
I've had nothing but OBS issues, and it's annoying
I've
because
noticed that, yeah.
this is both OBSs that are doing it. The Streamlabs one and this one, which means it's probably my computer. Okay. So the last thing I think that happened is that you fired a dart of water, but it's really kind of blood and poison towards Myrkul. We see this thing fly towards Myrkul and strike into the smoke that makes up the robe. You see it vanish into the thing, and it also deals an extra d10 of damage when you do this, which you rolled a 2 for. I think that's it. So yeah, it just deals this damage to Myrkul. So in total, that's 6 damage. And obviously the effects are much greater than that, as you understand them from Ellie, in that Merkel cannot regain any HP at the start of his turn, and if you kill him on this turn, he stays dead. That's essentially what you did.
That's what I was curious about, and I don't think we know this because I don't know what Ellie relayed to us, but it's
I
not
think Ellie explained that to you.
really.
She said
Because
something
she
like
ex-
that. I can't remember. I
Well,
mean, how
she
you interpret
explained
it.
that
Yeah.
we need to hit it with water, not that the killing blow has to be done with water. That's.
The killing blow
Or that
doesn't
it
have
has
to be done
the
with
same
water.
turn.
But I mean that we have to have enough water remaining to hit and then kill, right?
Right.
Because it doesn't just disable his ability to regenerate permanently.
It's just
We have
for
to hit him with a
turn.
little bit every. Yeah, right.
Pretty much. Pretty
Okay.
much.
Yeah.
You can't deal
So we
the
have to
killing
get him
blow
to
without
zero.
having him take some water damage
Yes,
during that
water
turn.
damage. Right.
I have a question, because it's not like his body is absorbing the water. Wouldn't the water just be remaining always? Like a river?
Okay. Well,
Time flowing like a river.
I don't think
Alan
you
Parsons
know
brought
this
it
as
anyway?
Aura,
No? All right.
but Bo is very aware that that water is gone
Oh, okay.
as it hits him, dried up quickly.
Well, he still has a canteen at his feet.
You've still got a bunch of
or
water
flask.
around.
Yeah.
It's not loads, but there's enough for you to use. You've got, a couple of flasks that had been thrown on the ground and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's still some available. That wasn't the first and only shot.
I know, I'm just being careful. What
Yeah,
if
yeah,
he
yeah.
has 9,999 hit points?
Exactly. I get it. It's cool.
All right.
Then I go farm Demi or something, you know?
Yeah, you have to go and do
Next time we go to a shop, Bo, we'll have to get you a canteen of holding.
he has to
Just put a bunch
carry
of
around like a giant flask
Yes.
of water from now on. Ellie, your turn.
Let's see.
I believe you regen some hit points, correct?
I
Oh,
get
yes,
back
you do.
10 hit points.
Yes, you do get 10 hit points back.
Sorry. That's helpful. And then I am going to go up to Sir Doggo over here, pop out of stealth, trigger Booming Blade, and then attempt to stab him with my Venom Dagger.
Yes. Do it.
21.
21 is a hit.
And then I get sneak, and what was the poison? I gotta see what the poison thing is. Sorry, I should look this up before I use it. Creature must succeed DC 15 Constitution saving throw or take 1d10 poison damage. I guess.
It succeeds.
Okay.
Still deals the other damage.
Okay. So he doesn't get poisoned, but all the other damage happens.
Yes.
Okay.
8, 6, and he's now sheathed in that booming energy. So if he moves, you get the additional, I want to say D8. 2d8, was it?
Yeah, it was 2d8. And then I'm gonna call it to them. Well, no, I guess they can move if they want. I'm not gonna tell them to move, but just in case they do. And then Ellie's
why
gonna
you moved.
back up. Wait, where'd he go?
I don't know why you moved there. I think I
Hey,
clicked,
I was like, what an idiot.
I think I clicked something on the screen that made him move back to where he was before.
I guess what they'll see from Aura and Bose is he'll be like kind of crackling. The dog I just attacked will be crackling, but I'm not going to tell you to move because that would be on you if you want to take that opportunity of attack. So, yeah, that's it. I don't think I can go into stealth because I used my bonus.
Okay.
So.
Brings us to you, Aura.
Okay, so Doggo is right here. I am going to draw my sword and swing at this dog.
Don't forget you have an extra action. Not to be that annoying nag, but
No, okay, yeah. So I have a plan. I feel this
trust you.
energy that I know Suna must have cast accelerate on me because I feel that like chronomancy itch and I imagine my tattoo is glowing.
Can I roll one more time real quick?
For what?
If I was stealth, I get advantage.
You want to do what?
Roll one more time because if I'm stealth and attack him, I get advantage. It could be a crit. Does that
What do you mean?
make sense?
Oh, you saying you would have had advantage?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
turn, maybe.
Too late. What's done is done.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. I'll
So
do him for stealth.
Okay. So I'm just gonna swing at the death dog in front of me.
Right,
With
so
my sword.
you have your normal action, you have a bonus action and another action. Which
And
means
I can swing twice with my sword, right?
yeah, you could do 4 attacks if you want.
That's what I'd like to do.
Let me just
Hit. Holy shit.
yeah, you get to go insano mode.
Okay.
Let me just check. And you can do them one at a time, by the way, to see, because you could potentially like defeat the dog and then go on to the next thing. I just want to see how
Okay.
many advantages you get. The first time you make a weapon attack on your turn, yeah, so you get advantage on the first roll.
Oh, okay.
You're still in Zephyr Strike.
Okay. So I'm putting advantage on this first great sword swing.
Nice.
And then do it again.
16 is a hit. Yeah, it depends how you want to do it, but yeah.
Okay. I'll do two swings with the great sword.
24 is a
24.
hit. Yeah, give me the damage. Click it twice.
10 and 10, so 20 damage.
20 damage.
Wow, holy shit.
Yeah, you do. You swing at this dog and you do these big kind of cleaving hits. The dog is like partially bone and dust in the same way that Myrkul is, and you're finding as you hit the dog with the sword, there isn't like blood and gore or anything like that. It doesn't let out any cries. You just see chunks of dust fly off of it in the same way that you might find if you were hitting a sandcastle. It's kind of how I think it would look to you as you're hitting this thing, and you can see it reducing parts of the dog. And now there are these kind of odd wounds or sections of the dog that are just missing, and there's just kind of dust and like floating off of these chunks. There isn't really a dog there, just a missing element, and dust peeling off of it and floating upwards a little from this thing, as if it's almost a construct of the dust in the same way that the bone jaw is, and the walls and stuff like that.
So when I see this happening, do I think or know that I am killing it?
Absolutely, yeah. And
okay.
There's not a lot of it left, but it's still there.
Okay, well, I see that it's working, and I'm going to bring my sword up again, and I'm going to strike again. And keep hitting it. A 10.
10, I think, is a miss, yes.
Okay, and I'll bring my sword up again, and I got a 14.
This one is a hit. Give me the damage.
11.
11. How do you destroy it? And I say destroy because you are kind of destroying a construct in a way. Regardless of what you do, it's going to vanish into dust.
Well, I hit it the first 2 times, and I noticed like this dust stuff pouring out, and just out of blind rage because it poisoned me and bit my leg, I bring up my sword one last time. I missed the first time, and then I bring it up again, and I bring it down as fast as I can on its back, and just imagine it's like a puff of dust that evaporates into the air.
Yeah, it really is. As you bring that final strike down, you deal enough damage. This huge sword comes down, and then this thing just disappears. What was a dog standing there kind of snarling and snapping at you before just kind of explodes into dust around you, and some of it kind of floats upwards endlessly, just lifts up as if there's zero gravity, and the rest kind of just explodes in a huge puff of smoke around you and Bo. Both of you probably caught for just a second as this dust around you spreads. You can still move as well if you want.
Sorry, I'm just looking at one spell, and it's not a bonus spell. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand next to Bo, and I'm just going to turn my gaze towards Myrkul and not move.
Okay, bringing us to Suna.
How high up are these vines? I can't see them, right? But I know that they're there.
At all. Yeah, like a couple inches max.
All right. I would like to levitate myself.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move over here. Just above. And then I'm going to use a sorcery point to cast Lightning Lure and try to drag Myrkul back into the vine.
Sure. Does that work? I mean, the next.
Sure. One moment, if I can find where the fridge my sheet went. There it is. All right. Can I just drop this in here?
Should be a speech bubble.
Hold on one moment. Blah, 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 blah. Targets must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pulled up to 10 feet in a straight line, then take lightning damage. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Now, will it show up now?
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. All right, I had to, I didn't see, I had to input.
Yeah, so a strength save or be pulled to 10 feet. Okay, let's see what
That's right.
Strength save is.
Now, I believe it is still...
Got beat.
Right, okay, so the slow doesn't affect strength.
Probably not going to beat it on a 13.
No, definitely not. So it will now be pulled 15 feet towards me, which I believe puts it in the vines.
Yeah, how does this look? This thing that you're doing?
Well, I think I just move my hands gently like this, close my eyes, and then I levitate up off the ground, and then I kind of fly over to where the vines are, and then I just, Palpatine, as Brad says, I just take my walking stick out, and lightning comes out, and I grab him and pull him towards me, or her.
Is this 2 actions?
Yes, I used a sorcerer point to
do
cast
the
a
2
spell.
things.
Yes,
Okay, yeah,
that's correct.
I missed that bit. All right, I'm just.
That's all right.
So, yeah, I think like you see this lightning wrap around this huge figure, and then it's pulled towards you. It's not like whenever you've used this maybe on someone or something before, you see the thing kind of yanked backwards like that. This figure, you see the lightning bury and wrap around what must be underneath the robe, and you pull the figure towards you. The figure kind of opens its arms wide and allows itself to be pulled over towards where you are.
Right.
Ending here, yeah?
That is correct. That is correct. And then it should take
4d4?
No. Well, yes, for the bobs, but then it also takes lightning damage as well.
Oh yes, give me the lightning damage, or give me 4d4.
I'm sorry to ask this question. What level are we? We're 5, right?
Level 5, yeah.
All right. I'm just making sure. All right. So it's 2d8.
2d8.
Lightning damage, so 12 damage it will take.
12 damage.
Lightning damage, yes.
Okay. So that is this amount. Okay.
Right. And then whatever, right. So 24. Nice.
All right. And that's the end of your turn?
That's right, yes.
Who was successful on their last turn?
I
You
was.
and Aura.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Far away is Ellie. 25.
Yeah.
Okay, at the beginning of his turn, he doesn't regenerate any health this time. Guess that's not too big of a deal. Oh, I must remember that. Yeah, that's not a big deal. Yeah, I think we're good. I think, yeah, the same thing's gonna happen. As Myrkul comes to a stop, as he brings down his scythe, the bottom of it striking the ground. Aura and Suna, you don't hear the toll of the bell this time. You're immune to the effects of this. 24 hours.
All right. Wow.
Which maybe matters, depending on whether you're successful here. However,
Right.
I need Bo and Ellie to make me Constitution saving throws again. $15 from Ellie. One from you as well,
I'm
Bo.
sorry. Oh, sorry. I thought you were needing something from me. You don't need anything from me, right?
No, you're immune, just Bo.
Wait, what did you need from me?
Con save.
Oh, oopie. 17?
Wow, 2 makes. You become immune to this thing as well. You hear the toll of that bell, but there is no effect on you this time. You still have the level of exhaustion from before, though. And I think because of the slow, that's it. Bringing us to the death dog, which honestly, I think I'm just going to roll a disadvantaged perception check, or Oh no. No, not a disadvantaged. Wow, an advantage perception check. Did you go into stealth, Ellie?
Nope.
Oh no.
Is he
Right.
still slowed?
Oh, I'm gonna roll.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Determine which one of you? Yes. He is slow. Yes. Does that reduce his speed?
That's correct, by half.
Probably pretty fast though. Alright, let's see if he can make it to you. Oh, he just can. Death Dog comes running over to you. Now, this thing only gets one attack with disadvantage and it's blind. So it's definitely caught your scent and it seems to be moving towards you, snapping its jaws as it gets close to you. I'm going to see if it tries to hit you.
I do
whether it
smell
can.
pretty good. I put my perfume
You
on
have
today.
the perfume. Wow, one of those is a natural 20. The other is a 2. So
It hits. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
it would have been bad, but no. Yeah, there's a this thing just is snapping wildly at you, and as it comes in, you kind of quickly and deftly avoid a chomp of the jaws as they close at the area where your leg previously was, and you dodge this thing, bringing us to Bo's turn.
All right. Well, first things first, I'm going to cure wounds, an aura. That's 10 healing points back to aura. So I again, well, without touching her, raise both my arms, and immediately start to heal her. There's a warm glow that comes from my hands, and her wounds, like her bites, they start to heal up a little bit better, and well, my eyes then avert and then turn towards Myrkul. I immediately control the elements again. This time, the water that Aura had poured on the ground, I then take control of that and attack Myrkul.
Okay.
Whew.
So that's just a straight D4 and a D10.
All right.
You can't miss.
Oh God!
A 1.
Please let this be a better roll. 4.
A 4, so that's 5 damage that you deal. Again, another spike of watery, icy, daggery, magical bow control elements happening as he fires it towards Merkel. It disappears again underneath that smoky, dark, shadowy robe. You sense that water disappear, being caught up in that just endless death and dust. But you do deal the damage to it. You're aware of it as well. Reducing stopping it from being able to regenerate, and also making him susceptible to the true death, as they would say in True Blood. Okay. That is the end of your turn, unless you want to move.
No, I'm good.
All right, Ellie's turn.
I'm thinking. I'm gonna booming blade this dog.
Okay.
I don't like him. He's not very nice. 14.
14 is a hit. Yes.
All right.
We'll roll a con save for the poison.
15, yeah.
Ooh, 4. So you can roll me a d10 and your sneak attack. Nope. Not the
Nope,
sneak
no
attack.
snake. 8, and then I am going to walk away.
Okay. Are you
'cause he's-
disengaging? Oh, no, you don't need to.
Yeah, because he's slowed. So I'm gonna walk away. And since I already used my bonus, I can't go back into stealth. Okay, I was right here. Dang it. I'm gonna walk just a little further past him. So, yeah, that's I'm gonna end my turn on that.
Okay. Or
And
your
if he
turn.
got poisoned, is he poisoned each round?
No, he just takes poison damage. It's a little confusing,
Oh.
but you can do poison
Okay.
damage, which is the type, and there's also the poison status. So a lot of the time it does both, but yeah, for this it's just
So
1d10
next time he
poison
moves,
downwards.
he gets more damage if he moves.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Aura.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my fast feet and I'm gonna run over to this death dog. And I'm gonna take my sword and I'm going to swing at it.
Do it. First one has advantage.
Okay. Ooh.
That is a
Okay.
Those rolls.
non-natural 20.
Okay. And
Does it
then
hit?
okay, and then roll again.
Yeah. If you want to hit twice, yeah.
And 15.
You can split those up again, like I said, probably forever ago. If you could technically move, hit one, and then run and do your extra attack somewhere else. If
I
if
didn't
you
know
wanted
that.
to. Yeah.
Okay.
But you're probably going to want to do both of these, so give me both damages.
11 and 8.
11 and 8.
19.
I think you probably chop off like one of the heads.
Okay.
As you do this, you come in just a big swing, bringing this thing down, and then like that scene at the beginning of Game of Thrones where he chops off that horse's head, you just do that to this giant dog. Again,
Okay.
it just reduces the thing to dust, as if it falls apart like Sandman from Spider-Man, and the dust kind of partially floating upwards and spilling out in front of you. The dog kind of snaps wildly at you, but it looks kind of slow with the magic. And blinded with this kind of inky spell around its face. It is barely alive, but still standing.
I don't really have any other bonus moves I can make. So what I'm gonna do is, well, hold on.
Pocket did take the 10 region, by the way, chat. I know, I can see. You got 10 HP, Pocket? You got it.
Okay.
She did
I
it.
silently took it. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, yeah. So I was looking at my other stuff. What I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna move away from it, and it can't attack me because I have Zephyr Strike.
Yep.
I'm just gonna move back between Myrkul and the Death Dog, and that's all. End my turn.
Good turn and good idea. Suuna.
Right. Great. I will back up all the way over here.
Okay.
Actually, I wonder if this will work. Yes, I'm going to try something insane. I would like to back up, but I'm going to use my whole movement to then also move up in the air. And I'm going to separate my movement. Can I do this where I lightning lure again, drag him through, and then levitate up with my movement?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, because essentially I could drop him back into the pit and he could take one extra thing of damage. Because he comes towards me to do that. All right.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I levitate backwards and I cast lightning lure again.
Right, let me give you a strength. Is it disadvantage? Or am I crazy?
No, not on strength. No, just dex.
That's a 9.
Yes, no, that fails. So, yeah, he will move 10 feet towards me in a straight line, taking all the squares. I'm not going to count those up, all those, unless you want me to, in which case I will.
Well, it's 25, which is.
Well, he goes 10 feet, so he'd go through 10 squares? Is that right?
Oh, you can only drag him 10 feet, max.
Yes. So
Okay.
2 squares. Because
Okay,
each
yeah.
one is 5 feet, right?
So yeah, it's so it's 4d4 again from Aura.
Did you say 4?
4d4.
4d4.
Because his icon, he doesn't actually take up that many squares, does he? As his icon, or does he?
I'm giving you both.
Oh, all right.
But so
I just
well, if
assumed
it's
he
10
was
feet,
skinny
it's
and
10
scary.
feet. That's the thing. If he moves, I might change my mind. But 10 feet is just 10 feet, and that's how far he moves, right?
Right.
And that is a ridiculous roll.
Well done. And then he also takes some
Was that
damage.
called rule of threes?
for me is yes, it is. Well done.
I'm learning.
He also takes 9 extra from the lightning.
Okay, so
Yes, I absolutely can move with levitate. Thank you very much.
yeah, I think that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing with levitate. I think it's fine.
Yeah. I can move.
Oh
I can
God.
move in the directions. That is right.
Let's see here. Sorry, I have to math it. Let's see. Yep. All right.
All right.
And then you try and lift him in the air, or no, you can't do that.
No.
Okay.
If I was breaking up my movement, I could. Like
You
if
fly
I went
away.
straight up in the air, then I could lightning lure him and he'd come up and then fall back down. But
Okay. And you fly upwards.
if you are the target, you can move up or down as part of your move, y'all. I can move. Thank you.
You can definitely do this. You flew a
Yes, I know.
table into the air.
Thank you.
You fly, but I just want to know how far up you are and how far away you are, because we don't have
Right.
verticality
Sorry.
in Roll20.
Right. So I used my whole movement to do this. Hold on. Let me just double check because I know he can kill me. So I'm 15 feet away from him, and then hold on. 15 feet, and then I also go up vertically, and I used my entire movement, which is only 35 feet. So someone else math that for me. I'm that far up
Yeah.
in the air.
I wasn't even listening, so I can't. I was
So I've
waiting
been
for
15 feet
the end
this way,
part.
and then I also went up into the air.
Okay. Levitate lets you go. One
can
creature
move
of
as-
your object
yes.
you can see can move 20 feet and remain suspended there for the duration. The spell can levitate a target the way to target can move only by pushing. You can change the target's altitude by up to 20 feet in either direction on your turn.
That's right.
So you're 20 feet up.
Because that doesn't count as my movement.
Yeah, so
Right.
you just, on your
Okay.
turn, you
Yep.
you are the
Then I'm 20
object,
feet up in
right?
the air.
You're the thing
Right.
you're doing.
Yes, that's right.
20 feet up and
Right.
15 feet away. Good. All right. Yeah. Nice.
Right.
You want to move further then?
If I can, yes. Well, there's a wall behind me, right?
That's true, actually, but the wall you would be above. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just be nice here. Technically, those of you on the ground can't see behind this wall. It really doesn't matter too much, but I'll just remove the dynamic lighting from it.
Oh, great.
You can see those strange things,
Then
and these
in-
go around where you are. Those kind of those plinth stone henge-looking things.
I'll go
that are
my
all around.
entire movement, and I'll go over here.
All right.
Right. Lightning lure, and then yep, that's it.
All right, nice turns. I know these turns are much longer, but this is level 5, and that's what happens. And you
I
guys are
tried to be
powerful
fast.
and fighting a god, so I think it's fine. You take your time. Don't worry about it.
You got like some pillars behind you and stuff now.
I expected this to be.
Well, I'm
a
floating
longer
up in the
fight.
air, so you
Oh, okay.
you can see me. Yes.
You can see them, yeah. Now.
Yes.
No,
Well,
that's
make it-
cool though.
Yeah. Oh
Right.
yes. I imagine I look quite
Are those
terrifying.
doorways? Okay,
The-
sorry. I'm out of character assessing the map right now because we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. Let's see then. Let's see here. I think. All right, so you're all immune to the move he's been doing. So I think since yeah. I think what he's going to do is, that'll be the roll. What is your AC Suna?
Spell or actual armor?
Actual armor. Yeah.
Right. It is. Hold, please hold. 16. Oh, so 17.
17.
That's right.
Makes it, breaks it. As Myrkul taps the floor and you hear a toll in your head.
Is it a spell?
You can shield this. Is that what
Is
you're
it a
asking?
spell?
No.
No, I want to know if I can
No, it's not a
counterspell it.
No, it's
All
not a
right.
spell.
Then I will shield it. I absolutely will counter-react if it's something I can shield.
How do you shield this, though? This is an attack
So
that
what
isn't
is
like
it?
an arrow that normally comes in. You create a force field bubble.
All right.
This is an attack on your life force. So do you think
and
your
it's
shield...
a toll.
It's a toll of a bell. Do you think you shield this in a different way? Does the spell manifest in a different way? You tell me
Yes,
how.
I think so. I actually don't think we see anything. I think it's just resolve of I jumped over this cliff willingly. I know my end will come, but it's not now. And I just make eye contact and not today.
Okay. And you're not hit by this thing, but you do use the spell slot, so it still
Right.
counts or whatever. But yeah,
Yes.
your AC goes up by 5 for the round. Now,
Right.
what I haven't been doing this entire time is whiz saves for Myrkul at the end of the turn for saving throw for slow, because I forgot. Slow's got too many things that happen in it. So I'm
Right.
going to make one now. That's probably not even it. 13.
No. Good luck.
Death Dog's turn. First thing that happens is Death Dog moves and the booming blade goes off. So you roll me that damage. I think it's literally impossible for
Oopsie.
you not to kill it.
I mean, if I got 2 1s, okay, it's roll 2.
If you get 2
I think I
ones.
turned my
I want to see the net.
9.
Yeah, it had 2 HP.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the booming blade happened. Have we even really seen this yet?
I think it went off, but so many things were happening, it kind of got shoved under the bus.
Yeah.
Because there was so much going on.
This reduces the dog to dust, but how? What does it look like when this?
I think as Aura hits it and she runs past and a head's missing, the one head turns and looks at her, and then immediately it growls and starts to charge at her, and that's when a crackle of lightning just like comes down out of nowhere and just strikes it.
I have one.
Yeah, and it just
Explodes.
poofs.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dust.
I probably was like getting my sword ready to like fight back, and I look over at Ellie and just go,
And then I
open my mouth like,
I swish my dagger around and there's a little spark from it. And I give her a thumbs up.
I just smile at her like open mouth.
And in the distance you hear, that's fucking teamwork.
What's your favorite position? Sorry.
Oh, your turn. The only
Ooh.
target left now is Myrkul.
Merkel. Okay. I'm gonna try something. Can I try element overlay on the vines that he's trapped in?
Overlay your magic or your weapon with elemental either water or fire. If you overlay a weapon, you may replace the thing. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. When you prepare, when the damage type of any element, when you prepare the element, maybe you choose whichever element. You know what? I fucking have no idea, so I'm saying yes. Because it's rule of cool. I think I know what you're doing, and it's cool as
Yes,
shit.
it's so fucking cool.
All right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I
I'm sorry,
reserve the
that's
right.
bad hats.
I reserve the right to remove this use of the ability in the future if I work out that it's stupidly OP for future, and you just start breaking every fight with it. But for this turn, yes. How does it look? What do you do?
All right. Well, I take my own water skin. I start pour it on my hands. Start clasping it together, and I start to inch towards some of the vines, and then I just press my hands into it, and I then the water just starts to flow through the vines, making it more lively, and I'm hoping, it's not to Merkel's liking.
Yes.
So now that weapon does elemental damage of water?
Yep.
So the thorns will do water damage.
I
That's
guess so.
so fucking cool, Disby. That is perhaps the coolest move I've ever seen, and I've seen creatures thrown into lava. That's really good.
It's
really fucking good.
insanely useful.
Very clever.
So these vines are now covered in an element of water. They have water over them. They're reacting to the water. They maybe grow from it as your spell combined with Aura's turn these vines into a more powerful version of themselves, and they will deal water elemental damage if Myrkul walks through them or is dragged through them and that kind of a thing. Yes, you do that. That's your bonus action. You still have a full action that you can do.
All right. Well, I'm definitely going to cast another healing word on poor Aura. I mutter the words "boom," and well, hopefully she feels more of that healing energy. Embrace her.
I feel the warm wind that I've grown accustomed to from Bo healing me so many times, and I look over and I nod my head
It's
at
not
Bo.
the other warm kind of wind, by the way. It's the nice one. I didn't blow a fart your way. I would tell you if I would. I would.
I also feel like in an anime, in the beginning, Bo was just kind of like, bada boom, you know, not unsure. And now we're just like, bada boom, you know, like it's so cool. Sorry.
Yeah. Healing
Freaking out.
Aura. You can still move, Bo, if you want to move.
You know what? I like my view just here.
Okay. Bringing us to Ellie, your turn.
Hello. Well, I can't. I'm not running in there. So, the dog dies. I'm going to use my bonus to cast Hexblade's Curse on Myrkul, my favorite person. Wait, hold on. Let me check first. Yeah. Okay. I was making sure I was within 30 feet. And then he's cursed for a minute. And then I'm going to take out my hands. Put away my dagger. Have my hand. My hands are going to start to glow purple, and I'm going to Eldritch Blast him twice if I can.
All right.
See.
Yeah. Give me the attack rolls, please.
Failed, obviously.
AC
and
is-
then 2.
Wow. AC is.
Why are my Eldritch Blasts so bad?
Oh no. Let me just check your rolling. You are rolling a +6, which is correct.
I don't think I've landed 1 out of like 10 Eldritch Blasts.
Yeah. So one of them misses, and the other one is gonna do something awful. Roll me a d20.
All right.
This doesn't really work with Eldritch Blast, so we'll see how we work it out.
2.
Roll me another d20.
Oh boy. I'm not ever using this again. I take back being a warlock.
Oof. Who is the closest ally to Myrkul that you hit? I think it's Bo. Yes, this Eldritch Blast is going to strike Bo after all that teamwork that you guys have been doing, this excellent teamwork that you've been showing through the last few episodes. Now, Ellie fires off an Eldritch Blast and then a second one. But Ellie, you're super well trained in swords and daggers and blow darts and hand-to-hand combat, probably everything. But magic and the arcane really has not. I don't think you've really ever been too trained with it. Maybe some counter training and stuff.
In an anime or something, it'd be like one of those, like her hands start glowing. She's feeling super confident. Then one goes off and just like completely misses, and then the other one kind of goes off preemptively and then hits Bo.
Stings
Like
you in
she
the
just
back
doesn't
of
know
the
how
head.
to control it.
Oh, so roll me the damage on the second Eldritch Blast.
8.
Oh, you get smacked in the back of the head by a force damage. It just feels like being hit by 8 damage to you. Probably feels like someone hit you in the back of the head with a 2x4. Turning around, there's no one there, but Ellie, as magic dies down around her hands,
Like my hands are still purple, and I just hide them behind my back. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm just holding my head with my mouth agape, like.
I didn't mean to.
shook.
I promise. Okay, I'll use my bow next time. Sorry.
And I'm just rubbing my head.
Yeah.
Shit. Shoot.
He has a concussion.
If Merkel had lips, he'd be smiling, I'm sure.
Damn
Aura,
it.
So proud.
What a prick.
it's your turn. Oh wait, no, Ellie, you can move and stuff. Sorry, you still got.
Actually, yes, I'm going to check my movement real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna move and then just chill over here.
Okay.
So I can't stealth.
All right. That brings us to you, Aura. What do you want to do?
I'd like to use my planar warrior.
Okay.
Can I put that? Is there a way for me to put in chat when it's on the first page?
You click the speech bubble and you hover
Gotcha.
over it. Yeah. Let's see. Planar warrior. You learn to draw on the energy of the multiverse to augment your attacks. As a bonus action,
Nice.
choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. Next time you hit that creature on this turn with a weapon attack, all damage dealt by the attack becomes force damage, and the creature takes an extra 1d8 force damage from attack. Yep.
Okay, so Myrkul. So if I go in there, it's gonna hurt me as well, correct?
Yes. Wait, yes.
Sorry about
I
that.
think so.
Well, I'm gonna run up to the edge of the vines, and I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna cast Planar Warrior, and then I'm going to use my longbow.
Okay.
Did I say it wrong? I think I
What?
said it wrong.
What?
Like planner. How do you say it?
Planar.
Planar. Thank you.
You're like a planeswalker basically. So
Okay.
the planes of the multiverse and the planes that you're in a different plane of existence right now. You know what I mean? To Lucrin and shit. So you're
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a planar warrior, like you're a plane. All right, no, I'm not gonna make any jokes. Continue.
So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna take out my longbow and aim it at Myrkul and take my shot.
Yeah, give me the attack roll. In fact, you can do this
Can I-
twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 24,
Hit.
10 piercing, and then I'm just to make extra sure, I'm gonna pull back another arrow and I'm gonna shoot at him. 16.
16
Nice.
is a hit. You also
A
get
9.
the D8 from the planar warrior.
Okay. And an 8.
Nice.
Wow. Holy.
So that is 27 points of damage. Am I correct?
I think so, yes.
All right. Nice shots. The arrows fly towards Myrkul. Again, they hit that smoky robe that he's wearing, and the arrows just vanish inside of it, and you don't see them hit. You get no real sensation that they are striking him, and he's not reacting or anything like that. But you know that it's working. You know that it's hurting him. You know that it is adding towards his defeat in whatever way you want to interpret that. But it isn't like usually when you fire an arrow and you see it strike and it buries into the armor and blood comes out of a human, or you fire it at a skeleton like last week and their head explodes in shards of cranium. Even though you're firing these things off, and it's a strange sensation, but you're doing damage, and you know you are. You guys are aware of it, but again, it doesn't look like it, and maybe that's a strange sensation for you. But yeah, it's a good round.
Okay.
Anything else?
I look around at everybody and I decide that I'm just gonna hold here, and yeah, I'm just gonna hold here.
All right, Suna.
All right. Oh boy. Sorry, one moment. Oh. All right, I'll do that. All right. I am going to use my chronomancy ability to cast Weight of 1,000 Years. And I will be using some sorcery points to cast a cantrip at some point, but right now this is Weight of 1,000 Years.
All
I
right.
must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 1d6 psychic damage, but how it would be knocked prone.
Well, let me roll my strength save. Wow, that's for sure a fail on an 8. So,
All right.
it hits him with that agonizing mental damage. The creature makes a fail save and a fail save 1d6
Right.
damage.
That's 5.
Oh, I rolled it.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
sorry.
know why I did that. Yeah, I'll take your 5. And then,
All right.
and it's psychic damage.
That's right. And now it's prone on the ground, which means I think it has to waste its entire movement to the next turn to stand up.
It's actually
or to
not
get up,
prone.
right? Ah, all right. It was worth a shot.
Yeah, you pour this energy down onto Myrkul. You definitely sense that the damage being dealt is hitting, but it doesn't seem to crush Myrkul.
All
The
right.
weight of 1,000 years is nothing.
Nothing to him. That makes sense.
And yeah, he is. He's immune to prone.
All right.
A condition.
No worries. I will do lightning lure then, which has been transformed into a bonus action.
Okay. Are you able to do this? You're far up and away. That's 30 feet. Yeah.
The light, yes. The lightning lure I should be able to do. Hold on, let me actually just double check.
There's a range on it, yeah.
I think I have to be closer to it. In which case, I'll just move.
Yeah, you do. You need to be 15 feet.
Yeah, so I'll move closer before I do this part. But yeah, then I will go ahead and cast lightning lure.
What's happening? Please.
I think I need to move.
Yeah, you need to move within 15 feet of him.
Hold on, let me just
Which is, yeah.
one more. Yeah. There we go.
And then another strength save.
Yes, from it. Yes.
Oh my god. I just want to
Wait,
say
wait.
for the record here that Merkel has a +3 on strength and I think has failed every strength save. That's a 6.
Wow. All right. Yes. So 2d8. Then it's pulled 10 feet, so it'll take the
horrific
Aura's-
amount of damage that we're about to
aura
work
bow
out.
combo. Yeah, the aura bow combo
Yeah.
thing. Yes. That's right.
Okay. And okay, you give me the lightning lure damage.
Right.
You did this at a high level.
No, it just increases with my. When I reach 5th level, I do 2d8.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
So that's that. All right, now let's work out here what's happening. So the 2d4 becomes. I guess it's just 2d4 plus. Yeah, it is. It's 2d4. Okay, so Aura, roll me 4d4 again. And then Bo, roll me 2d10.
Holy shit!
9.
X.
9 and 6. Okay. And then this, and then this. Okay. My little jaw, my little skeletal jaw, clicking together for you on the video, on the audio. All right, so you successfully
it.
deal water damage to him, so that stops his regeneration. If you
Right.
kill him on this turn, he will die. He isn't dead. He is standing in the middle of this pit of thorns, watery thorns, and that's the end of your turn. Are you still levitating up?
I would like to, for the rest of my movement, just get up in the air away from.
Another
away.
20.
Yes.
You're 20 up, so you're 40 up.
No, because I had to come down to be able to lightning lure him. So
Okay, so
now
you
I'm
wanna
just
go
going
back
back up. I'm only 20 feet. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine, right? No. Can you do this? You don't need to use an action?
I think I can use my movement, but if not, then I'll just stay here. I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
you
read the
can. You can do it
paragraph.
as part of your movement, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, cool.
All right.
Seems so strong. It makes
It is pretty strong.
I mean, it doesn't, I guess. All right, cool. Okay.
Let me just reread it.
Yeah,
And
no,
you,
I think
you
it's
go
fine.
on.
It's fine. We'll move on. What would Merkel do in this situation? I think, why the fuck doesn't this work? Okay, thank you.
Yes. If you are the target, you can move up or you can move as part of your turn. Otherwise, I would have to use an action to move. Like if I was casting it on Aura, for example, I would have to use my action to move her. Right.
Merkel lifts his scythe up into the air, taps the ground, and kills the vines. All of the vines dry up instantly, turn to dust, wither, and fade away.
I'm sorry, is that a spell?
It is a spell.
I'm gonna counterspell that prick.
Okay. Can you counterspell it?
It's a reaction, so we're gonna hope that we fucking can.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, you can do it, Zuna.
I'm gonna try. Also, it is slowed, so technically this wouldn't go off until next turn anyway. So perhaps we should.
I have to
do
remember. What do you mean it's slowed?
It's got the effects of slow, so that means that
I
it
see,
has
I
to
see, I
take
see.
the
Yeah,
entire
It
turn.
waits the entire turn.
That's right.
Just
Before
have to
this
check
can
what
go
happens
off.
when you do the 4th level thing.
He also has to roll a 1d20 and get over 11 to even be able to cast it. So I think. Let me just scroll
Okay,
up
so
and
he has
double
to
check.
roll. Let me see. Yeah. This is good.
Just give me one moment. All right.
Slow means.
Yes. If
So
the creature
roll-
attempts to cast a spell within a casting time of one action, roll a d20. On an 11 or higher, the spell doesn't take effect until the creature's next turn.
I see.
And if it doesn't, then the spell is wasted.
Ding. 18.
All right, so next turn, it'll go off.
You're not counterspelling it?
But it's not going, he has to take the entire turn to cast it, right? So I can counterspell it next turn? How does that work?
Yeah, let's see. I
Right.
guess. Is it this reaction or your next reaction that you're using?
I mean, I don't care, whatever you prefer, but
No, but it might matter.
I assume that if it's slowed, it doesn't. It basically goes off next turn, and then I can react next turn when it goes off, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the rule is. The spell doesn't take effect until the creature's next turn. Doesn't take effect until the next turn, which suggests to me that it's cast this turn. It just doesn't take effect, so you'd have to counterspell it now.
All right, I will counterspell it now. Absolutely.
All right, so
Then does that mean the counter doesn't go off next turn? Anyway, I don't care.
it will
whatever.
mean that, but first you need to make me a check.
All right.
Let's see here. First, I need to roll 10 plus spells level.
Right.
Oh no, that's counterspell.
No, that's just the.
No, it is. Hang on. Casting spell of a 4th level or higher. Make an
So,
ability
yeah.
check using your spell casting ability. So you need to make me a charisma check.
All right. And the DC is 10 plus whatever that spell that he's casting that level,
10
right?
plus 4, so it's 14. You've got to
So
beat.
I just need to beat a 14 with a charisma check.
Yes. That's a charisma
I-
save,
Oh, sorry.
but it doesn't
what
matter
am I
because
supposed
we
to do?
can take off the... Well, hang on.
You want me to just hit the charisma button?
No, we can work this out. You just take
All
off
right,
your
it was
proficiency,
a-
which is 3, which I think makes it a 23.
Right.
So,
So
you
that
counter
beats
its
it.
spell. You remove.
Oh my god!
You
All
counter
right.
the ability. The
All right.
the
We
staff
don't
comes
know what
down.
happens
The
until next time.
the things begin to die. They begin to die around.
And
it.
I say, not today.
And you say not today. And I roll a saving throw for the slow. Is that right?
That's right. Yes. Let me just double check again here. Sorry.
You might have
moment.
actually made it this time. A 19.
You may have. Yes, that does make it. So the slow is now gone.
Oh my god, thank god for that, first of all. Oh, does that mean this counterspell just goes off now?
No,
No.
because
doesn't matter. It
No, I
doesn't
don't
matter.
think that
It's
would make
irrelevant.
sense. Yeah, but
It's
anyway.
irrelevant. Bo, your turn.
Oh God. Okay. First things first. I'm gonna cast Bardic Inspiration over on Aura,
Okay.
and I call out, I give you inspiration, and with
Doesn't she already have inspiration?
No.
not Bardic Inspiration.
No
I
one
wasn't able
has.
to give it to her that time because
Oh,
didn't
because you
have
already
enough
used your
actions.
bonus,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So now I cast it. I give you inspiration, and with the twiddle of my fingers towards Aura, she instantly feels that extra buff. For her next attack, she can do extra damage.
I give Bo a little salute.
I give her a wink behind my glasses. But you probably can't see that.
Okay, then you still have your main action.
You know what? I'm gonna rough him up a little bit more. I'm gonna use control elements again.
It's a bonus action. You've done it.
Oh, dang it! You know what? I'm just gonna use a regular attack. I'm gonna make this personal.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out my light crossbow and hope that my arrow strikes true.
All right. 18 is a hit.
14 piercing.
4 piercing damage.
4
piercing. Same thing as what happened with Aura. You fire this crossbow bolt. It hits the smoke and darkness within. And that brings us to Ellie.
I'm gonna go into stealth.
Okay.
I cast it. 22, and then I'm gonna pop right back out. Well, I'll just pretend like she was in it for a few seconds, and then pop right back out. Eldritch Blast with advantage. Assuming you didn't see me? Maybe he saw me.
Find out. We didn't see anything.
So...
22 is a hit. Natural 26 is a hit. This could be considerable.
And then I get sneak, right?
Yeah, you only get one of those rolls.
Yeah.
It added it for you. So you get 7. You get 26.
Holy shit.
32 total.
32 total?
That's what chat said.
Wow.
I don't know.
So
Hold
you
on.
only get, I think you
I'll
only
take
get
out
one
the
of these.
calculator.
7 force
Oh.
from the first one.
Okay.
5 plus
and
8
then-
is for the second one.
Right, so
Because
20.
it's considered it for you already on the natural 20. That's what the plus 8
Oh,
is.
it already added.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this 3 plus 3 is irrelevant, and the 6 sneak attack.
Oh, okay.
26.
26. So 26 or 30. 26 then.
Okay.
Wait. Plus each attack gets a +3. Because
Oh,
my
it
proficiency
does.
bonus is added.
That,
So that's +6.
which is
Does
a
it
grand
do it?
total of,
32.
which is.
Oh wait, and a natural 20. Oh wait,
Yeah,
no, we're good. We're good. Wait,
You don't need
if
it.
I roll a 19 or a 20, I
don't need
get.
it. You don't need
I don't
it.
need it.
You don't
Oh.
need it.
Oh, okay. I was going into Hexblade nonsense. Okay.
You've
Sorry.
done it.
Yay, I did
just-
something with Eldritch Blast.
What do we see
I
as
mean,
this
you
goes
see
off?
all my teammates do 90% of the damage, and then Ellie finally looks at her hands and goes, I swear to God, you're gonna work this time. And she's just angry, and she Kamehamehas the shit out of him.
This Eldritch Blast goes off. You see another one go off, and they kind of fly towards the figure here of Myrkul. There is a moment as Myrkul is slowed and stuck. The whole time Myrkul's been moving around sluggishly. Breaks free of this, slams the floor with the scythe. Suuna counterspells the thing. Aura fires 2 arrows into the mist. Bo fires a light crossbow bolt into the mist of the thing here, and then these 2 Eldritch blasts launch over towards this figure. This giant skeletal god.
Did we just beat a god?
The creature before you falls to the ground.
Oh,
The second Eldritch Blast strikes this giant skeletal figure, and it falls. As it falls, it lets go of the scythe. The scythe, falling away from its hands, turns to dust, and on the wind, blows away. The smoke around this creature and around the immediate area here pushes away from it as it falls. It shrinks a little. The black robe which has been covering it, mostly smoke and shadowed, pushes away from it as well. It reveals just the bones now. For the first time, you see nothing more than a skeletal form. 3 of you seeing it as a kind of humanoid without these horns on it. 1 of you, Aura, seeing it as a figure with horns. As this thing is falling down, these old yellowed bones, you see a lot more detail. Once the smoke falls away from it, you can see these bones are old, chipped and worn in places. The bones shift and change. The skull rolling backwards and coming away from the neck, the smaller bones of the fingers falling apart as it lets go of the scythe, all of the leg bones, the arm bones, the rib cage, the pelvis, all falling apart, shift and change. They grow thicker. The humanoid skull grows larger, thicker, changes, and becomes almost reptilian in nature. As each of the bones hits the ground, they turn to dust, again floating upwards and away. All of you hear, "Thank you for freeing me," as the skull hits the ground, and everything that was this godlike figure is reduced to dust and gone. All of the dust,
I think.
and smoke and shadow in the area around you, including the castle, these walls, the bones that made up that huge jaw, fall away slowly, reducing the area to nothing but just blackness, like a void.
Hello?
Do I feel anything? Probably not.
The light kind of breeze disappears. The 3 of you that are not Ellie feel it vanish. Ellie, there is no change. You just stand now, all 4 of you experience pretty much the same thing as you stand in a place of pure darkness. But you do hear a terrible sound after a moment. A few seconds pass, I think. Suna, did you say you wanted to do something?
No, I was just going to speak to them, that's all.
I think before you get the chance to, or maybe you're levitating downwards a little.
Right.
And all of this stuff falls away. The area around you peeling away from the direct immediate area. You guys see this castle fall away, and you start to hear a strange scratching in the distance. And that's where we end today's session.
Hate
No,
that
thank you.
sound.
Gross. I hate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It really tickles my ears.
Oh, it's making me uncomfortable.
All right.
I feel great. I don't know what you're talking about.
Next time. Oh yeah, you don't have the audio. You'll be.
Oh, I don't have the audio.
You don't
Actually,
have
you're
the
right.
audio. That's why you feel great.
I feel great.
Oh, right.
Also,
did
it's
it.
Ellie.
Oh,
You guys are level 6.
Whoa, yes!
Myrkul, yes.
Some serious shit happens for Suna at level 6. I'm
I
very
know.
excited.
I
That
know.
means we really did it, though.
Been
If
waiting
we leveled up.
my whole life. Sorry.
That's all right.
Wow, that, and it was exciting because it was like we were killing death, but really we were just killing an avatar of death. So not quite god killers yet.
Oh, you killed the god of death. Oh, cool.
We did.
Yeah.
That wasn't like a never mind. I took that to mean that was a someone like Ellie that was just, being the avatar, a lizard creature being that was then released and free. All right.
You killed
okay,
Merkel, the god of death.
Oh, wow.
Which
now
is
is
what
no
he
Merkel,
wanted,
god of death.
so-
That's fucking teamwork.
And it was
I don't feel
very
guilty.
good teamwork, I'll be honest.
Holy shit.
You guys are a really cohesive team
Dream
now.
team.
Yeah, it really worked well. I
High five.
genuinely didn't know how.
Ellie.
Sorry, I was a little delayed. Sorry. I was sitting on my hands. So I was like, oh.
We're a
Genuinely
cohesive
didn't
team.
know if it was balanced or if it was too difficult or the way that the thing that I based Merkel off of plus the death dogs. I was like, I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah, no, you got great crowd control and situational
was-
control now. I think you're really
Not
starting to
the two-
understand it and just fucking blitz through
That
stuff.
slow spell. I gotta tell you, those
Yeah, it's great.
sorcerers out there, anybody that can take that fucking spell, do it, man. It's so good.
I think we would have maybe had a lot more trouble if we didn't have that.
Oh, hell
because the
yeah.
blindness on the dog, and when he first hit me for half my health, I was like, well, this isn't good. And then I started regenerating health too, and he didn't have water spells, so that was great.
Yeah.
So,
It was good. I think it was just good situational control, and it's. I mean, I'm super happy with it because it's exactly kind of what I was hoping you would be doing by this point. Because this is, you're in these mini dungeons, and you're on this final strait somewhat, and working together and taking on this.
We
God.
also would have probably totally TPK'd if we didn't have the information about the water. So the fact that Ellie
God.
was able to, to figure that out and then give it to us. Yeah,
I wonder if that would be obvious to you all now in character. Like, she told you after she started crying blood. Like, out of
No,
one
I think you'd have to tell us for sure. At
And
least
Ellie's
from,
just doing weird shit all the time now.
Yeah.
She
eye.
showed
She's
up.
just now like, okay, now you're crying blood. This was
yeah.
really weird.
I don't think I would make a connection that your crying blood means you can see what their abilities are. I think I would just be like, well, we're in the Death Dominion and she's doing something weird and her eye's bleeding and all right,
Yeah.
she seems to be okay.
I did wonder if you were going to do the echo eye on the dog and sprout a second head.
Oh,
Yeah.
could I have done that? That would have been awful.
It was 100% what I was going to have happen.
No, I immediately was gonna go for death on
But
that.
yeah,
and
I
was like,
assumed as much. It's almost, I feel like an unwinnable fight without that information, to be honest.
Oh, I was thinking that as we were fighting it. I went, there's
You
no
did-
way we
you
tried that.
pretty much did exactly the best possible. I think each of your turns was basically the best possible turn you could have made every single time. If I could
Yeah.
write a walkthrough for how to deal with that fight, it would look something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's how you would do it. So it was really good.
including hitting Bobo in the back of the head
Apart
with an
from the
Eldritch
one-
Blast.
Natural.
Maybe not that.
Okay.
Apart from
Maybe
that, it
Bobo
was
needs
perfect.
a slap around the back of the head, just,
Every now and then I
Just
do.
a-
I
It's
Reminder.
one track.
It's just a
Turn
reminder.
around. Every now and then I get an Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so
Sorry.
so you're not quite out of the this dungeon yet, technically, but that really does pretty much bring us to a close on the land of the dead.
Well, I hope we're out soon because I'm out of spell slots pretty much. So
Oh yes.
I was using cantrips like mad. That lightning lure came in handy, but otherwise, fuck.
Well, secretly, the reason I didn't just thrust you straight into the fight was so that you could potentially, if you wanted, rest in that scary area outside before Ellie decided to engage.
Do we look like a resting party
I
to you
know, but I wanted to still, I like to be able to defend myself in a court of law online against
when we TPK? Yeah.
I was
people
saying
who
in
come at me.
character. See, I don't know if can I say it now that it's past.
I don't know.
The stuff about Ellie and what Death said to her.
Oh
Or
yeah,
Death's
yeah,
dead.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yes.
So Death said, "Truly, I am old. You'll be doing me a favor, child." And maybe some people picked up on this, but that's the last words Gertrude said to Ellie too, right before she killed her for her first job.
What a prick.
And so Ellie was fully intent on going either after him or like started like as thank you, Brad, played out. She started reimagining that all over again. So it's very vivid in her mind in that moment.
The worst
I
thing he
think-
could have said to you.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of cool because now I think the other people kind of got, like you all got like a sense of that too as it came in blips of like, that was her mind coming through.
Yeah, it was also
So-
you taking control of the domain a little bit.
Yeah.
Just exerting your own power over the old god of death.
Yeah.
You really I understand the role play into versus short rest thing. It's a little bit of a weird one in D&D where sometimes you would never rest. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be like, I need to sit down now. It's kind of a strange one. So a lot of the time I try and facilitate a situation where that's
I
the
feel like this
case,
is one of
but-
the most heavily based art, like role play, like actual story based RPs I've done. Besides one where like literally the role play like was everything, including the fighting, if that makes sense, which was Nebula Jazz or whatever. But this one is like for D&D, this is heavily story based,
Yeah,
like
that's
on
for
each character and where we're
Oh.
going.
Yeah, most of Table Story is heavy story based, but Brad's campaigns in particular are very much about the story.
It's because I
Yeah.
just want it to be
Why
a
I
Final
love them.
Fantasy game. That's all I want it to be, and it's a great it's a great system to kind of twist to that, because when you play a traditional JRPG, or for me specifically a Final Fantasy game, they have a lot of they have the turn-based combat. A lot of the progression is through combat for some reason, even though I feel like a lot of the time it doesn't make sense in Final Fantasy, but you don't care because you're just like, I hit the thing. And leveling up and stuff works. D&D's similar enough that I can hack it to do that. But yeah, I want it all to feel like you're progressing a story. You know, you're fighting again Ultimisia or Sephiroth or something in a turn-based fight thing. You're doing it for a reason by the time you get to the end of those games and stuff, and you really that's all I want. You know what I mean? I really want to try and facilitate that same feeling. It's the main reason I got into D&D and was like, oh, I'm gonna run one, but I'm gonna make Final Fantasy Brad. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what I like to try and facilitate. Sometimes it's a little janky and it's hard to do, and you've got to try and figure it out, and it's a whole thing. And we'll talk about that on our round table thing at the end, I guess. When we do we normally at the end of our campaigns we do a post, like an epilogal session where we just sit around out of character and discuss things and answer questions and things like that. So we'll do that when that comes around. We've still got a little while yet. You are definitely on the
We are level 6.
final straight, but we still got a little bit. You've still got a couple of things. Obviously, you know, you've probably guessed by now. You need to go through each door and complete each mini dungeon, and you've basically done the first one here. Yeah, you
We're
can
gonna go back to water level then, huh?
maybe the other doors
Uh-oh.
are unlocked.
Get ready, Disby.
Never mind. I don't want to.
Maybe, but you got to get back first. So we'll find out what that is
We
next
gotta
week.
get back. We gotta go back.
We gotta
Kate.
go back, Kate. Yeah, so let's do a quick round of shout outs and we will find out what's going on next week. Let's start with the new God of Death.
Am I though? Disby? It's Disby, isn't it? It's not me.
It's Disby
It was
Arix.
a trick the whole
It's
time.
Disby Arix.
It was a trick the whole time. It's actually Disby.
No, it's not.
Disby
God,
Arix,
no.
the God of Death.
I am not ready to rule the underworld.
Your heels no kill.
Could you imagine Bo ruling the underworld?
Oh, it would be so good.
It'd be so
It'd be
good.
hilarious.
It'd be like that
Hilarious.
show. I've never seen it, but I imagine that show Lucifer is like it. You see?
I imagine him like Robin Williams the genie. Where he's like, bada bing!
Yeah.
That's like how
Evil.
he's the devil.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, maybe secretly.
Lick my
kind of-
boots, please.
yeah, like doing like
I'd
really
probably
heinous
turn
things.
it into some groovy palace.
It would be great.
Probably.
It would be great.
Right.
All right. What about during the week then, when you're not ruling the underworld? What are you doing?
Oh, you can find me at Twitch at DisPRX. I do a lot of the role play on other games. Currently playing on Red Dead Redemption 2. It's been a lot of fun there. I do horror games as well. Just beat Song of Horror, which is a 5-chapter long game. Very challenging. If you like Silent Hill games, you'll definitely like that. So yeah.
Wait, what was it?
It's Song of Horror.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I love Silent Hill, so I'll check that out.
Yeah, the puzzles are very similar and heavily inspired by Silent Hill. So yeah, I think you might enjoy that. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you so much for today, everybody.
Yeah, make sure you find the relevant links, whether you're on the VOD or listening to this or in the chat there. There'll be a link to everyone's channels, so go and follow it and ask Disby what her first order of business will be, ruling the underworld, what horrors she will provide. What about you, Pocket? The actual brand new God of Death.
I am trying to sell my house while also doing cosplay and photography and occasional streams. Still working on cosplays that I've been working on for like 2 months now. But I do look forward to role plays. This one and the other one I'm on. I look forward to it because it's like a break from it all. And I just got to do something real quick for what is it? Zecodicus?
Zacodicus.
So it can be stuck in everyone else's head now. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's
my life.
thrown me off so much. All right, there you go. Thank you. Zacodicus is going to be so happy.
That's what the God of Death would sing. Okay.
That's exactly what
That's how you
sing.
torture people.
You've done it successfully. What about you, KPP?
Hello, I'm KPP, and I am no longer diseased thanks to Bo.
That's so good, by the way. That kills you slowly. Like every 24 hours, you permanently lose 10 HP until you
permanently.
Until you hit 0. Yeah.
Well done, Bo. I'm telling you,
Glad I was right on that shit.
your fucking moves, man. They were really good. They were really, really good. I still think that turning that entire trap into water damage, one of the most clutch moves I've ever seen. So good, so smart. Sorry.
I'm proud of our team today. We done good, kids.
You really did it.
Thanks for saving me from being diseased and losing my health slowly
Permanently.
and permanently.
Thanks for carrying. Thanks for carrying my door.
Oh God, this was fun today. But I'm Katie Peters Plays. Tomorrow, join Brad and I for a very early stream for me, 7:30 a.m. stream for me. So Brad can start streaming at a normal time. But we're playing Man of Medan together. I've played it once already, but Brad hasn't, so I'm excited about that. And Tuesday, we're gonna do a watch along of The Last Transmission, which is the one shot that I homebrewed and GM'd for the first time ever here on Table Story for them reaching 5,000 for St. Jude. So come hang out. I haven't watched it since we did it, so it's going to be like new to me too.
It's a should we say kind of like the premise or the genre?
Yeah. No, you go for it. You'd probably be better at describing what it was.
It's a horror sci-fi, and it's kind of, I feel like it has some Dead Spacey vibes. So you should definitely come and check it out. It's so good. KPP blew it out of the park.
PB's in it, and so is Myrkul's Amelia Tyler and Domestic Dan and Whack Ran production. Yeah, so it'll be really, really fun to rewatch that. So I just feel like I talked for like 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop now.
It's literally the point of this part of the stream for you to
I
do.
know.
So you're
Can
good.
you rap?
It's
Can I rap?
Wrap
Yeah,
your
she
own
can
rap
it out.
We all know she can rap because if
Yeah,
you haven't
help rap.
seen her,
No, I've
the
seen
bread
it.
rap.
Oh, you've seen it. Oh no.
I sang. I was hoping you could rap.
Yeah, we did that live today also. There's a Hail Breb live. Mark and I did a live performance today because you guys reached an amazing goal for St. Jude. So
Where's
that's
that
out there
clip?
now.
Do we need to go
Alright.
check it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check that out.
They want me to
Okay.
upload it to YouTube, so I told them I would upload it to YouTube so you can see the live performance. We only stumbled a little bit, but it was fun, and yeah, that exists now as well.
Nice.
Hail Breb.
Hail
Hail
Breb.
Breb.
What about you, PB? What are you doing?
Hello. Hi, I'm Pumpkinberry, and I played Suna for you today. Oh boy, that was so cool. That was fucking awesome. Also, level 6 hype. Sorry, my brain is fried.
Yeah.
You can find me at Twitch and Twitter at Pumpkinberry. I am currently playing through the original Final Fantasy VII over on my channel, but I am here again on Wednesday. So I will be in KPP's chat on Tuesday with the watch along, but then on Wednesday I will be here jamming Gone, which is our surreal thriller. And then I'm here again on Fridays for our horror show that I am in and not jamming, yay! Which is Facade. And that's it. That's it for me. Thank you for being here, Brad. Thank you for that fucking crazy ass fight. That was so cool, man. That was awesome. That's it.
All right.
Well, I'm sorry. Wrap me up now.
That pretty much brings us to a close. I just want to end on a one quick announcement that we had at Table Story. That we put out today, and it's that Jay Brotato, who was here right at the beginning when we started the channel and we set up all of the things and we started archiving our shit D&D games to the internet somewhere under an umbrella name of Table Story, has kind of stepped away from any official responsibilities and capabilities, and he tweeted about it, and I'll link that in the chat so that you can go over there and support him and tell him thanks for all of the work he's done, and tell him he's got a skinny penis and stuff like that. So just a quick mention, just because I feel like we have to mention it just so that people understand what's going on. That Jay's just kind of stepped back. We're kind of just taking this channel seriously, man. We're like putting a lot of effort into it and stuff like that, and Jay pretty much explained that he just has a very limited amount of energy and he really wants to be able to concentrate on that and look after himself. And so if any of you want to go and send him a message, then, or go and like his tweet and support him, he's going to be doing his own thing. It doesn't mean he's not going to be involved or on our shows and things like that, but just in terms of an official capacity, he's sort of stepping away from the official roles. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing because we've been building this channel a little bit. Me and him kind of started the whole thing off right way back in the beginning. We had a really long Skype call at one point where I didn't even know him. I didn't know him at all. We just had a Skype call where I was like, "Hey, I don't really know you much as a streamer, and you don't know me," and we didn't know each other. And we sort of bonded over D&D, and we were running these kind of games on our channels, and we were like, wouldn't it be easier to work together and maybe make a YouTube channel where we can upload these videos to? And then it got a little traction, and people were really interested in it. So then Wax Steven joined in an official way and began kind of managing everything and really just running everything on the channel. And then PB joined and has just been doing everything that PB does, which is way too much work, but has helped to kind of grow this channel. And for many years, it's been me, Jay, Wack, and PB that have just been kind of doing everything behind the scenes. But it sort of also hasn't been just built by us four, really, but everyone who's been involved, and every guest that's been on the channel, and every viewer that's been tuning in and watching the content and feeling the same kind of passion and fire and love for the entertainment as we have. So yeah, I just wanted to say my official and probably our official thank you to Jay for setting our ship sailing and being there, and I wish him well and all the best, and we're going to respect the time, effort, and love that he put into the channel, and he's still going to be around and doing things, but we're not going to be like making him do wax dishes anymore.
Elbows up.
And elbows up.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna go and support him, and we're all gonna remain here and continue to grow and improve and put out the best fucking content on this website together. So yeah, and thanks everyone, just since we're here, saying thanks as well for coming out and supporting the streams, those of you that are watching, and that includes the people on the screen with me here. They're fucking awesome. I love all the people that are on this screen. I love everyone that has been involved in our shows over the years, everyone that's put any level of effort in, anyone that's shown any level of passion, or like KPP, who's like, I want to run a show, and we were like, let's fucking do it, and we put it together, and that's on Tuesday. Wack, who bends over backwards every day to do stuff and get things done, and PB, who came in and was like, I'm just gonna randomly do a whole extra full-time job for you, and just has been doing things. And we don't make any real profit or anything from it. So we just kind of have this passion project. And I think Jay kind of had a plan. And the plan was to just build this thing, let it grow organically, see what it does. And here we are. And we're just putting out these insane things every week. And it's insanely fun. And everyone, I'm proud of everyone that's been involved in this thing. And I'm really, really proud of this stupid channel that me and Jay kind of made up on a Skype call like 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it was. Yeah, thanks Jay, and thanks everyone else, and elbows up. Thanks again everybody for watching the things, and everyone that's been on the shows. You're all awesome, and let's just see where we keep going with it. So let's get out of here. See you later. See you next time. Thanks again. Good night. Bye.